Hey y'all. Happy Monday. How is it going? How is it going? I hope that you all are doing well. Um thank you all for being here. Um let's see who's in the building, in the garden rather. What's up, Stephen James, Jay Tillman, Aaron Laura, CEO, what's going on? I need to reschedule with you. So I'll be reaching out to you this week to reschedule. Hopefully you can add me to your calendar again. Lee Turner. Um, let's see. Akil, what's up? Yes, it's so good to see everybody. The Violator, Sasha, it's so good to see all of you at 3 a.m. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so I don't know if y'all saw my community post. Things have been getting very wild out here. Shout out to you, Tony Golden. You gifted a Smell the Roses membership. Thank you so much. I love your picture there. That's very cool. That's very cool. What's up, Erica? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for supporting me, Tony. But yeah, if you saw my community post, then you know that this is going to be deep, okay? And I don't want to keep y'all too long and I don't want to hold y'all because it's other podcasters, talking about this right now, like they have every right to. Some of them, others of them, no. But yeah, your girl is tripping right here. This girl right here is tripping. Um, so I watched this video twice today, and we're gonna watch it here. I want to be fair, I want to be fair with my assessment of this woman because I haven't watched her in like 2 years. Basically, I haven't watched her since Jason Black cooked her for having Nick Fuentes on her show. Okay. And if you don't know, yesterday she was on a panel with the Untouchable Empire, Ali and Fatty. And there was a panel. Tyranny was there. Jazz was there. A woman that I just met a couple of weeks ago since going on to their panels. Athena was there, and Melanin. I like Melanin. She was there too. Okay, so I was invited, but I had went out. Y'all saw I was out with my hubby and my kid yesterday, and we were soaking up the cool, breeze and the nice weather. And we went out and ate a whole bunch of tacos. And, when I came home, like I didn't want to ruin the vibe, right? I was just like, let me stay, cuddled up with my man, my man with my Christmas tree and my kid and just snuggle up and, catch up on whatever I missed on YouTube as I've been out all day. And why am I watching this panel getting triggered every step of the way? I'm not going to lie to y'all. I actively avoid confrontation. Like, I wasn't ever going to do a panel with Fatty because I just thought we were never going to get along because of one experience I had with him over on HQ's chat, right? So I was avoiding that. And then I was like, well, let me try. It's been a year. Things have calmed down. I've been watching Fatty. He seems pretty level headed. I don't think it'll be so scary. And it actually wasn't. He's actually very hospitable. Him and Ali. And I've even been, their audience for the most part has been very receptive to me. I haven't had not one negative experience over there, but I did tell Ali that I just don't want to do. I'm cool with doing like the panels on Fridays because those are like random. I don't really see Tyranny on there on Fridays, but I do see her a lot on the Ladies First panels on Sunday. So I've been actively avoiding Sunday requests um, because I didn't want to headbutt with Tyranny and go viral for the wrong reason, because what I went through with Tyranny and Crystal on Cart Before the Horse felt like enough. I don't, and I clipped those moments, and we can laugh about them now, but it really felt shitty as I was going through it. Okay. And I just don't want to, like, this is fun to me. And as soon as this isn't fun anymore, I'm not going to do it. So, I'm trying to keep this fun, educational, lighthearted. I feel like I'm making, great connections and lifelong friends. So right now it's feeling good. And yesterday I was in my little love bubble. I didn't want to disturb it. I knew Pearl was going to be on the panel. It was already told to me. And I was just like, I'm going to chill. I'm going to skip out on this one. Ali, I'm always thankful that they call me. So, if you ever need me again, of course, I will likely be there, but I was in my love bubble yesterday. Okay. So now I'm out of my love bubble because I'm watching this freaking podcast and it is turning into a shit show. Okay. And like initially, I'm like, I don't want to be around Tyranny. That's my initial thought. And then uh I'm like, as soon as Pearl joins the panel, I feel like I gotta protect Tyranny. You know what I mean? I know that's weird, but that is how I was feeling. Even though Tyranny was saying some weird, outlandish things like she always does, I still felt like, what the hell? Like, no, it's that one page thing, getting on one page. I'm sorry, like, whatever, but it's the thing. It's the one page thing. Like, I can't just let, them get dog walked. And the whole thing went to the left, and nobody is addressing this, which is getting on my fucking nerves, to be very frank. Nobody is addressing the fact that just because Black people are incarcerated at whatever percentage, right? They don't constitute the reason why they're getting locked up at disproportionate rates from white people than the same crime. But no, in none of the stats does it say that Black women date felons or men in prison. There are, and I looked really hard for all of this like research today. And at the end of this video, I am going to list all of the studies that we can read that break all of these numbers down. And none of the numbers point to what Pearl alluded, that Black women at disproportionate rates than white women prefer to date incarcerated, dominant, violent men, basically, is what she was saying. Black men. That's what Pearl was saying. And out of all of the people that are covering this, nobody is saying that that is fucking crazy. Just because we know somebody that's locked up or in jail doesn't mean we're going actively out there to marry them or to make them our baby's fathers. We are more likely to know somebody in jail because of relation, not because of romantic lovers. We all have an uncle or a cousin or somebody doing time. And that is not just because our people are, always guilty, but, it's just, there are circumstances that make it this way. Okay. And, for somebody that's always touting out the data, and telling people to Google it, it's not that simple. And I'm just so tired of like, why do we waste our time with inviting these people to the cookout? Like, didn't we fucking know better than this 2 years ago? So, like, my avoidance was confirmed last night. Like, I don't I would like to grow as a channel, but I would like to authentically grow with not like minds, but at least people that don't have their minds made up and the chips stacked against me. I don't want to work with people like that. And as the panel was going on, since last week we covered some of the things that happened on the plantation, as this podcast was going on, the characters from the plantation just started showing themselves, okay? There was a Sambo, excuse my French, on the panel who was just licking the boots of Pearl. He couldn't even wait for the panel to be over before he dropped and slithered his slimy behind over to Pearl's chat, because Pearl started trolling Fatty and Ali yesterday when Jazz and them, in my opinion, it wasn't about Jazz and Tyranny and whoever else holding her accountable. It was the fact that Ali and Fatty weren't rushing to her defense because she feels like, because she is the $1 million man at the table, or excuse me, I'm sorry, woe man at the table, that she can like control these black men that only have, what did she say yesterday? I could only stomach so much of her. She said she was comparing their numbers for a channel that only has 5,000 subscribers. She wanted them to change the topic of the show to be black fatigue, and she wanted to be one of two of the only YT women to get up there and talk mess about us. Why do we need her to come into our community and tell us that 50% of our women have the herp? Like, why was that necessary? That is what she did, right? So as I'm just like cussing at my phone, and my husband's like, turn it off, but we can't turn it off because Fatty started snapping. Okay. Where Tyranny failed, Fatty kind of came in there and set it straight and then kicked her ass into the pit. But I like to understand, like, how the fuck did we get here? How did we get here that a woman that looks like Pearl is coming into these spaces? Excuse me, Winston. No, you need to sit. You need to sit. I'm sorry, y'all. He's trying to like nest in his little bed and it's getting on my nerves. But how do you let someone that looks like Pearl, she's like as tall as Yao Ming, okay? There's not anything feminine about her, from the way that she walks to the way that she holds her posture in a chair, to how she was talking to everybody on the panel. Like, she talks a lot of red pill, and she talks down on Twitter to the wives that freaking drag her through filth, okay? She can't cut it in those spaces, but she comes into our spaces and tries to grandstand. Did y'all see, or have y'all seen the trad wives thread of them dragging Pearl through the mud because she is not married? Because she is none of the things that she touts about being women should be? And so I was thinking, how did we get here? How do I get to know about Pearl? And so I went on a quest to see if somebody on YouTube put together something about Pearl. And then I just went down the rabbit hole, and it was really like, I didn't eat all day today, okay? Because it's just sickening. It's sickening. She sickens me, okay? And it sickens me that as I'm reading the chat, all the the players of the plantation are showing their heads, agreeing with Pearl, calling Black women all kinds of names, for whatever reason. I get it. It's not everybody is the messenger, and Tierney did say something very out of control. And we don't want her to be the talking piece for us. And that is what I said last week on Cart Before the Horse, that the orny the most the loudest people, the people with the bullhorn shouldn't have it. Like, she keeps getting up here on all these panels and she doesn't make a good case for the arguments she's trying to make. It's just every single time it's like more word vomit coming out of her mouth that make us all look bad. I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Every time she gets up there, she's representing every one of us. And that is crazy. To say what she said about the dog, I was just like flabbergasted that you would say that publicly, Tyranny. I just have to say that wasn't helpful to the conversation at all. And it took us down the wrong path. It took everybody down the wrong path. But before I show this video, because this is a video that's going to tell us about this woman named Pearl, and then the next video is going to tell us, or let y'all understand why I feel like I need to avoid this lady altogether in the first place. Why it didn't excite me that she was going to be on the panel. Yes, I want my channel to grow. Yes, I do. But I don't want my channel to grow because somebody done poked me the wrong way somewhere and I got to tell them, a thing or two about a thing or two. Like, that's not what it is. Like, we got to get ourselves under control. Like, ourselves. We can't say stuff like what Tyranny said, or we can't be passive aggressive the way Jazz was. That is what was inappropriate about what they did. But there was something that Pearl did that we already knew she was going to do, because this is who she is. Okay, but I'm gonna read these things. I see that things have come up. I've had to not pay attention to the chat. Winston Rose, no. Sorry, guys. He knows when I'm here. Like, he's so smart. He knows that I'm going to be sitting right here. And he gets into all the things that he knows he's not supposed to get into, because he knows I'm not going to get up from this chair. But I'm sorry. So I see that I got some support. What's up, Renee? How are you? Thank you for my super sticker. Erica, thank you so much. Showing support. Love you, girl. Thank you. Love you, and Renee and Tony Golden. Thank you for the membership earlier. And Rakai Media, what's up? He says, hey, y'all. Good evening. Pearly Things. Somebody invited her to the cookout. Okay, I will stay open-minded, but don't be surprised when I go left. No, I totally agree. This is going to be eye-opening and maddening at the same time, because I do want to show you where Pearl came from, to kind of I want somebody to tell me what makes her cool enough to invite to the cookout. Can somebody tell me? I carry watermelons, water, I'm working in the chat. I'm so supportive. You know what I'm saying? And people keep inviting this ghost that likes to tout these, radical, weirdo talking points, very prejudiced, what she said about 50% of, BWs have the herp. Are you kidding me? Even if that's true, that had absolutely nothing to do with 50 Cent and Vivica Fox. And that was the topic of the discussion yesterday. It wasn't Black fatigue, but Pearl said yesterday that she had notes to talk about Black fatigue. And so when she went there with those racist comments, Fatty called her to the carpet, like, you want to go there? Let's go there. And then she wanted to bounce herself off the show and go make a live stream like Angry Man did, fussing and cussing over the fact that she couldn't get her way on the panel, just like Angry Man did earlier this week, because he was on my list too. He was actually on my list too. It was Melissa Ford, Angry Man, Pearl, and the Democratic Socialist Party. These are the things that are on my list of things to talk about today. I scratched Angry Man off because, you know, he ain't bigger than Pearl. He's not bigger than the operation. And he probably would have been up there agreeing with everything Pearl said, right? Because he was hating too this week. Can y'all believe it? Angry Man was hating too this week. Pearl did the same thing that Angry Man did to Fatty and Ali this week. He did the same thing. I think that was on Friday night. It's something about red pill people that are just like, what is going on? What is going on? Good Lord have mercy. So, okay, here we go. Divine Photos, thank you. Thank you, Divine. Thank you. He says Pearl likes mayonnaise with raisins. That is so gross. Could you imagine having to eat that? Oh God, that just is like, it puts a bad taste in the back of my throat, like gross. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video to learn about how Pearl got her start on these YouTube streets. And guess what, guys? She actually comes from TikTok. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play for y'all.
Right, Pearl, you've been called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. People think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. I had this realization. The men are smarter and better at everything. Women have been told what we want to hear our whole lives. From a historical perspective, women are pretty bad.
I'm going to drop every video that we covered tonight in the description of this video, and I'm using this in the guise of fair use. So, you know, yeah, hopefully we won't get cut, but we'll see. So he did say this is free and open to the public in the description. So I think I'm good, guys. So
I understand the complaint.
When you search the word pearl on Google, you get the definition of a small, glistening sphere formed within the crystalline shell of an oyster, highly regarded for its beauty and rarity as a jewel. But if you search pearl on YouTube, you get this.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about why women are dumb. How women realize that the only way we can be great at things is under the authority of a man.
Just Pearly Things is a 26-year-old YouTuber, TikToker, and social commentator with a knack for anti-Semitism who isn't afraid to give her opinion on the appearances of teenage girls, all in an effort to promote the red pill, a community I pray will one day fade into deep obscurity.
My husband's texting me. He wanted me to tell you that we will have our daughter ready for you as a virgin.
These influencers, alongside Pearl, can be recently seen advocating against the 19th Amendment.
I don't think women should vote. Huh? I don't think women should vote. Lord Jesus, keep on going.
Making bold claims about what women really want.
I swear to God, this show has made me believe I think women like to be cheated on.
And pushing to criminalize a person's legal option to get divorced.
Oh, actually, I think we should ban divorce too. Yeah, I think that should be banned. Yes.
Okay, well, that's a little bit silly. You have to acknowledge that, right?
No.
Something you'll hear these people often espouse is that women are expected to adhere to a very strict set of arbitrary guidelines in order to be considered desirable or high value. This is a notion Pearl subscribes to as well. Only the difference between Pearl and her contemporaries is that she, if you haven't noticed, is a woman. A token of femininity floating across a vast sea of testosterone, yearning desperately for a crumb of credibility, even if it means existing only to attack and demean her own group. Which is a long way of saying Pearl isn't like the other girls, because she's worse.
And let's just be honest, we're basically like big kids, right? That can just be propagated and like you can push us to do things.
By feeding into the delusions and biases of the most annoying people on the planet, Pearl gets to go viral on Twitter, book primetime television interviews, sell painfully uncreative merch, and produce some of the laziest, most unedited content I've seen in my life.
Maybe you guys I can't find it.
Maybe she genuinely sees her work as an act of good. Or maybe it's possible that Pearl is only doing all of this to feel a sense of pride and acceptance that she herself has never received. Because believe it or not, Pearl wasn't always like this. Before all the hate and desperation that plagues her image today, Pearl's life actually seemed far less polarizing just a couple years ago.
Hey guys, today I am here with my sister Eva, and she is going to give a.
Let me stop this real quick. Okay, so these videos that we're going to watch tonight are all 2 years old. So these came out in 2023. Okay. Now we're in 2025. All right. So we're going back to see how she got here. Okay. Because we need to understand this person. And I need for somebody to tell me at the end of this video how this person was able to move into these spaces so easily. How? How? It is so hard for me to move in these spaces. People are ready to chop my head off at any slight, like other people have to tell people, oh, she's okay, she's black, she's black. This is what happens to me as a half black person. And she gets to come on people's panels and talk mad, crazy things to black people in their faces. I need somebody to tell me why this has happened and why this continues to happen. Why do we keep allowing her to show up? So she can make content like the thumbnail I posted in my community chat, today. She posted on her thumbnail Jazz's face and said, "Black women suck." So coming onto these podcasts is now her content, like to bring over to the other group of people. In my opinion, because I'm a mixed person and I know what happens to, I know what happened to my mom for picking my dad, right? And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get how we can do this, but we're going back. Thank you so much, your average local thinker, Mo. I appreciate you for your contribution tonight. She says, speak on it, smell the roses. I need to understand how after this Nick Fuentes stuff, we let her anywhere near us at all. At all. She said slavery wasn't that bad. And she compared it to the movie Roots, saying that the director of the movie Roots, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let this play. But these videos that we're covering, there's going to be 2 videos that we cover that are from 2023. Okay.
Chicken coop tour. I don't need no validation. I don't need no validation.
Okay, you don't need no validation.
Except from TikTok. Ah!
A lot of you guys have been asking questions. So I kind of ended up being like a full-time TikTok, like YouTuber by accident.
I can't actually show you any of Pearl's original TikToks because her first account was banned, along with her second account, her third account, her fourth, fifth. Yeah, you get it. Pearl gets banned a lot.
2 years of work, 930,000 followers, and I have been officially banned. I got banned off of TikTok. I got banned. They banned account number 3, but you can't get rid of me, baby. You can't get rid of me, baby. Account number 4. I still got banned. Free Just Pearly Things. Give me my account back.
In fact, Pearl is now on her 8th TikTok attempt, at least at the time of me recording this. Maybe when this vid finally comes out, she'll be on her 9th. I mean, God knows it wouldn't be surprising. But as sad as I am to be missing out on what I'm sure is some valuable content.
So I said, you're a whale. You're a whale. You're a whale. You could say maybe the whale was too far, but she was a bigger woman.
We can still get a good idea of what Pearl was like in 2020 by turning over to her YouTube channel, where she's attained close to 2 million subscribers and over 900 million total views just over the past 2 years. Of course, most of those views aren't totally meaningful considering they're from YouTube Shorts, which rarely translate over to active subscribers or substantial ad revenue, but we'll discuss all that in a bit. It's true that Pearl owes much of her
Hold on, let me read this comment, y'all. Okay, so Rakai Media says, thank you for your contribution, Rakai. He says, in my opinion, some of the red pill males are inviting her to the cookout to be the straw boss. What? You think so? Okay. And the straw boss is like, you know, doing their heavy-handed work, like, covertly, you mean, you know? Like, oh, I don't know, because they got pretty heated. And then if when you watch it, there's a guy that, you know, is a black male. I don't know if he's FBA or if he's British, or I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know, I think I snapped. But if y'all were to watch the comments in the chat, I might have said something about a bussy popper. I might have said something about it, but I don't know. I might have said something about it. That I did say something wild, but he just completely like abandons ship and goes right over to her and starts licking her boots, Rakai. It was so crazy. I mean, he couldn't even wait 5 seconds for the show to be over to do it. It was just crazy. It's like he left as soon as Pearly Things left. He was like, oh, I'm going to go eat her butter biscuits. It was crazy. It was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. But I did, Jihanda. I did say it. I did say it in the chat. If you read the chat, and I just found out that you could do that. So I'm confessing my sins. I never knew that you could read the replay, like the live chat replay. I never knew that until I had my own channel. But thank you, Rakai. And Triple X, thank you so much. He says, Rose, you know how she got her subs, right? No, how did she get most of her subs? I don't know. So I'm thinking it was because she got banned on TikTok and those people just followed her over. She references that she used to do interviews, and this is how she got all of her data about Black people. So we're supposed to sidestep all of the research that's out there to just go off of what Pearl has done in the YouTube streets and the TikTok streets. It's like, girl, give me a break. None of the stuff that you have is peer reviewed, fact checked. None of it. It's just gibberish. It's gibberish. I'm a researcher. That's what I do. I research things. And then I make more things for people to research later on so that they know they have the answers and the policies and all the steps to move forward when they think of the next best thing to do to add on to it. She's doing none of that. She's not contributing to a body of work about behavior red pill behavior, male or female. She's not contributing any value other than her opinion. Getting on panels acting like she's speaking facts because she's reading a stat that already goes where her made up mind. Like, she clearly has a bias and she's looking for that kind of information to tout on a show that wasn't even called Black Fatigue, but in her mind that's what she came to talk about. It's like, what? Girl, are you crazy? I couldn't believe that she said she was ready to talk about Black fatigue and she came with her notes. It's like, what? Then she talking about Black people have stolen from her, Black people have picked on her, Black people have done all these things to her. This is all the stuff that she has come out with to say after what she did last night. But okay, here we go. Back down memory lane to talk about this lame, to figure out for somebody to tell me what they saw in her that allowed her into the cookout. Okay, thank you, Project Leroy. He says, Pasty Things ran her channel like a plantation using Africans to generate her content. The same African tethers who mock us about slavery. Stop. Okay, when I was researching today, I watched a video by this guy named Sarah. And I didn't know, like, I was like, I don't want to mucky it up too much because I don't like, I didn't know it was like, why was you working with her in the first place? That's what I was thinking. So I was like, I'm not going to play this video. So interesting. And I do remember that there was a lady that had an accent. Like, I've only seen a few episodes, like one with Bethany, one with that Melanie King lady, and then I saw like a couple of things where her and MTR, but I didn't really watch them, so I don't know all of that. But that is interesting because Jason Black is going to just like, you know, yeah, like I said, I came to YouTube for Tommy Sotomayor and Tariq Nasheed. That grew into Professor Black Truth, The Business, and then like SBC, and like I've been so sheltered, and the moment I try to come out of my shell, it's like all these bad things are happening. Angry Man is attacking us now. Pearly Things is attacking us. It's like, damn, like, what did these people do? What is going on with everyone? Is it just because it's Christmas and people are trying to get their views up and their money up? Is that what it is? Like, people are like hungry, chomping at the bit? Because I want some Van Cleef. I want some Van Cleef. I want the green joints, the gold and green joints, the 10 Alhambra. That's what I want. I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna get it. That's what I want. But anyway, okay, Project Leroy, we gonna keep on. So I've already did one video on Pearl. This is my second one. She's really getting on my nerves, and she really is. So, okay, Rakai says, well, that did not last long, being open-minded. Oh, thank you. Can I get some podcasts for your contribution tonight? He says there is plenty of blame to go around for what happened. Pearl is desperate to stay relevant, so she's going to try to create viral moments. Inviting her on the show was the first mistake. I agree. I agree that we are the cool kids. That's what I think. She's coming to, like, it's like, I think of like the Apollo. Remember Showtime at the Apollo? Like, before they went on stage, they had to touch the oak tree or whatever that little piece of wood was, like, that's what she's trying to do. Like, she's trying to get her feels on everybody, like touch our hair and like get our essence. That's what she's trying to do. What does Tariq call it? Uh I forget what he calls it. The Manjara spirit, or yeah, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to like suck the life out of us like a vampire. So I agree. Can I get some podcasts? Thank you for being here tonight and supporting us. Squeegee Kid, what's up, Squeegee Kid? Thank you for being here and for your contribution tonight. He says, I'll never forget or forgive Just Pearly Things or her crew for two things. Just Pearly Things laughed and made fun of MTR's cancer diagnosis. Then Auntie Jenny, okay, that was the older woman, Auntie Jenny, on a reaction to Just Pearly Things, was laughing about MTR, defended Just Pearly Things when I said Just Pearly Things was wrong for that. He says, F both of them. Yeah, because MTR did have that cancer scare. I remember that because although Jason Black dragged him for filth for gallivanting in the sand with Just Pearly Things, because they were cool before she made that statement about him. I didn't unsubscribe from MTR. I still stayed down. Like I didn't watch as many of his videos for a while, but like you have your attitude and then you get over it and you're just like, don't do that again. You know, I felt like he learned his lesson. So yeah, but wow, thank you, Squeegee Kid. I totally forgot about their beef and her saying something about that about MTR. Not cool. That was too far. Too far. Divine, thank you so much, Divine Photos. He says other races wouldn't dare let any outsider talk bad about their women, but an outsider shaming sisters and red pillars, not putting a stop to it, is shameful. Well, I do agree to what I do agree with you. And I do agree with can I get some podcasts that she shouldn't have been there in the first place because we already know what she said, you know, about slavery. And I feel like whether you're a tether or a FBA, that should just be a red flag, you know. But you know, the topic was 50 Cent and Vivica Fox. The topic was about, and Ali sends questions to everybody before the show. They both of them do, because I guess like Ali is working his group of contacts and Fatty is working his group, but they send questions. I don't know if y'all can see that. My light isn't on today because I've been working. They send questions, and you know, the questions were, why do women chase chaos over comfort? And then it says, are good men too boring or too rare? And can a man be faithful, successful, and still keep her interested? And then the last two were, why do some women only realize love's value after it's gone? And does fame and ego destroy real relationships? Those are great questions. Like when he sends me the request to join the panel, he's like, this is what the topic is. Come ready to discuss these talking points. So it is a bit scripted. So I don't understand, like, and she said that she was going to out Ali about saying that it was about black fatigue, but he said that's not what the topic was. It seemed like she was trying to push for that to be the topic, and they were like, this is what the topic is about, which should have been okay, because if red pill is your space, Just Pearly Things, and you could have just been touting out the relationship stats between males and females. Instead, you took it to a real nasty place of just like black women being the scum of the earth. Not cool. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Divine. I feel you. Um, and thank you for your contribution. So I'm gonna let this play. Let's pay attention to what's on the screen right now. These are her thumbnails. This guy, Jason Black, is going to talk about her thumbnails later on. So that's why I'm saying for y'all to pay attention to how she does her thumbnails and what do you see most of.
Notoriety to the likes of Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, who she has collaborated with on a number of occasions during her tenure in the Red Pill community, podcasting alongside inebriated sex workers, sex traffickers, and Nazis.
Welcome, Nick Fuentes.
But when we look back on some of her earliest uploads, we can see Pearl was actually once pretty far removed from the characters who make up the manosphere. In fact, I doubt she even knew who any of them were back when she was making things like My First Vlog, A Trip to Florida, Chicken Coop Tour, wrong spelling, and Mansion House Tour, 10 bedrooms.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you the front of the house.
See, Pearl herself comes from a very wealthy, sheltered background in Chicago, with both of her parents, Dan and Jennifer Davis, being quite accomplished software engineers in their own right. Jennifer being listed as the former CEO of Davisware, a multi-million-dollar company the couple founded together. She's now the CEO of another organization she founded, Be Exponential, which is described as an online community seeking to provide tangible and realistic advice to women and mothers, specifically navigating parenthood or life as a whole. Their website also mentions that Be Exponential was built by women for women, which is an interesting footnote considering the kinds of things Pearl has been known to advocate for as of recent. For instance, Pearl believes men solely built society by themselves. Therefore, it must be impossible for women to be oppressed because the men have already solved everything.
Men built the world for women to just shit on them.
Right.
In the world that they built. They built a society.
So King Pick says, I was gonna ask, honey, what did you think of Pearl on Ali's panel last night and CJ leaving Fatty and Ali's panel to Raccoon for Pearl? Didn't I just tell you that a bootlicker went straight over there? He couldn't even finish the panel. He couldn't even finish the panel. He had to go with Massa. As soon as Massa left, he was like, oh, okay, Massa. I'll clean it up for you, Massa. Steven, the bussy popper. That's how I feel about it, King Picks. That's how I feel about it. He was out of control. That was so wrong. It's like, why can't we ever just be in solidarity with each other and be on one page? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Yes, Massa. What was she? Did you see what? Y'all go look at what her thumbnail said. What her thumbnails are egregious. I don't even like Jazz's talking points. Y'all know I don't like tyranny. But y'all, that is not okay. Black women suck. Oh, shouty. I wanted to drag tyranny the moment everybody else was 3 weeks ago. Can't do that. She's a young lady. She's still got a lot of life to live and a lot of growing to do. I would be wrong for punching down on her. And I would also be wrong for being this old age of mine, not defending her against something like this. I'm sorry. She was egregious for what she said, but if somebody punches you in the face, are you going to go get a bazooka and blow their brains out? That's crazy. You can't do that. That's what Pearl was doing, touting out the hurt percentages, and all of a sudden the data and the statistics are so perfect for the numbers she wants to tout. But the minute anybody else wants to tout some statistics that's subjective, oh, I don't have a problem with that. You wouldn't be lying. She knows that shit was hurting her feelings. That's why she wanted Fatty and Ali to give her power and control to drop people from the damn panel. And when they wouldn't do that, she wanted to leave. Because Massa wants to be in control at all times on her, I'm not going to say the P word, but Project Leroy called it the plant garden. Is she kidding me? So that's how I felt about it, King Pix. I was thoroughly annoyed. How dare she think she can get up there and talk like that about black women in front of black men? And Fatty started dragging her ass. He does it very diplomatically. I can tell he likes to read books and he studies debates. I can tell that. Like, I don't agree with everything Fatty says. I don't agree with anything anybody says. But we're brown. One page. No, I get it. This is everybody ain't gonna come. I don't think she's cool enough. I don't think she's cool enough to be around. I don't think she's cool enough. I wouldn't invite her nowhere around me. Okay? Not even to a work potluck. I'm leaving her off the email chain. If anybody asks me to send out the invite, she gonna miraculously not make the list. So I don't get it. Why keep inviting her?
Society that's safe. There's no wars. We have the police to protect us. When they talk about women being oppressed, it's wrong. It's not correct.
She doesn't actually believe men and women are equal.
Ty. Ty, Fatty probably speaks like 3 languages, but my grandma, she used to always try to speak English words, and we would make her say all the ones. We would make her say all the ones she couldn't say right, and yeah, stuff like how he says women, the women. Yeah, so cute. But leave him alone, okay? Leave him alone. But what I have for dinner tonight, I made chicken chili tonight. That's what I made. On Mondays, I like to keep it easy so I can ease into the week, because the Sunday I do so much food prep. So yeah, that's what we have for dinner tonight. But okay, let me let this.
She's very open about this.
I think there's something evil about telling women we're equal to men because it demasculates the men and it harms the women too because it takes away the one thing we need, which is guidance.
The more I think, the more I'm like, gosh, the natural world order has to be men, women, children. Maybe government, I haven't decided, I have to think more about that one. The men we reproduce with must be superior because they create everything important. It doesn't seem like we really do much if we don't follow the natural order of the world and we're left to our own devices. So maybe I'm just a sexist. Are my eyebrows good, guys?
So there's no reason for them to have equal roles in society, I guess. In fact, Pro believes women tend to do more damage by being in the workforce.
Whenever we take over an industry, we just ruin it. It's so sad. We'll base everything off our feelings and add an HR department, take away the competitiveness of industries. In the last 100 years, women have really taken over education. And you know what happened when we took over education? Everyone got dumber. Now they have a teacher and a teacher's aide. 2 women cannot teach the way 1 man used to teach. That's how bad it is. That's why I don't think therapy works when they're women. Women are just going to comfort you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, where men will tell you how to fix it. But the problem is, women, we never want to fix it. Actually fix it.
Yeah, maybe ban women from the police force.
If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would probably be fine. But if men's jobs disappeared tomorrow, it would be rough out there.
Yet here is her own mom, essentially proving her wrong, having built up a number of successful organizations, written a best-selling book, and still managed to look after and provide for 10 children all at once. Though Pearl has also attempted to weirdly diminish her mother's accomplishments and role in the company, insisting she was never the CEO, despite Jennifer's website claiming the opposite. She may have also accidentally admitted to her parents committing fraud, but that's besides the point.
Wasn't your mom the president? Was she the leader of the company?
What was my, you're researching my family now, huh? They might have titled it one thing or another. They did that to get some grant from the government or something.
There goes the fraud. This was the other reason why I wanted to play this for y'all today, because I had no idea about this. But when Doge and everybody was talking about fraud, this is a piece of fraud. This is a piece of government funding not going the way it's supposed to go, because people like maybe, we don't know, probably, allegedly, I think I snapped, but she's saying that her mother said she was the CEO of a company so that they could get a grant. And let me explain to you how grants work. Sometimes your company can get a grant by the way that it is organized. If there is a woman CEO, a minority CEO, you are likely to get more money for your program, for whatever you are asking for the grant for, because you are considered a minority. In some cases, you get more money because you are a double minority. You could be island Pacificer, Pacific woman, and then you would get double the money from a grant or an organization looking to help women with small businesses. You see? So what she did right here is just wicked, but it goes into the fraud that Trump and them were talking about, and it goes into the talking points of everybody always trying to blame Bonquisha. This is Pearl's mom. This is Pearl confessing this on YouTube, that, you know, maybe this is true, maybe it's not true. Either way it goes, it's bad to say. What the hell?
And children.
Sorry, I messed up.
So when you say you talk to feminists, you just mean like random women off the street, not like a scholar.
That's say they're feminists.
I mean, after all, this really isn't her forte.
So
Unlike
he was
Andrew
giving her
Tate, Pearl
pushback.
hasn't quite dedicated.
He was giving her pushback, and he was saying, you know, you're so scholarly, you know, you have all this data and all this research, but you only talk to like girls at the mall or people on your podcast or other people in your peer group. You're not out there talking to historians or, you know, psychologists or women that have studied this and put real science on paper, peer reviewed, out there in the world to help people. She doesn't have any conversations like that with anybody serious. That's what he was saying.
Decades of her life to misogyny just yet. She only picked it up recently.
When I first started watching Red Pill content, I didn't always like it, guys. They're saying girls are whores, we're fat, and we bring basically nothing to the table nowadays. But the more I listened to the content and really thought about my experience in the world, I couldn't really say that they were wrong.
According to one article I found from 2020, Pearl was first gaining traction on TikTok after just several months of creating her account. Her initial claim to fame being her breakup quiz series, in which she wrote a bunch of questions that viewers could then send to their ex-partners to fill out for Pearl to post publicly. And it was pretty successful too, posting the best answers from a pool of nearly 9,000 submissions, telling Yahoo, I try to post the most appropriate ones. I know there are kids on this app, so the bigger I get, the more I try to keep it PG. Damn, I wonder when she stopped caring about that.
What if you've only had one partner, but you had 10 abortions, you were a stripper, and you had OnlyFans? Whore, not a whore.
This article, though, also makes sure to note that Pearl herself has yet to send the quiz to anyone in her past, considering she's never actually been in a real relationship. Pearl stating, I actually have not had a boyfriend that was serious enough for me to send it to, hence why I had my followers take it. The only long-term relationship I can think of is a guy I talked to for a couple years in college, which in itself is totally fine and normal. Everyone moves at their own pace, and there's no shame in dating later in life, except Pearl might slightly disagree.
Just because you're 35 and you're single doesn't mean you'll be single at 40, at 60, at 70.
Well, but the problem is at 35, you've lost all the things that men value. That's the problem, because men value femininity, fertility, and they value youth.
So you can't say you're youthful when you're almost halfway through your life. Like, you can't say you're fertile when you're about to have geriatric pregnancy. So it's like, and you look worse than you did at 25, right? So the way you're thinking is like a woman.
Not to mention, it's almost been 3 years since this article was published, and to my knowledge, Pearl still has yet to be in an actual long-term relationship. Though there was the time she briefly dated the angry TikTok reaction guy, not for
Okay, shout out to Mr. Walker. He's been a member for 3 months. Salute to you, Mr. Walker. How are you doing? Thank you for being here tonight. But look, this is her ex-boyfriend, y'all, who she did not send the questionnaire to.
very long. Her ex-best friend of 22.
But I will say, getting 9,000 people to fill out a questionnaire online is remarkable. It is so hard to get people to fill out anything online. And the fact that she got 9,000 people to submit responses to the breakup questions is pretty impressive. For my research study, it took me a very long time to get feedback from people. Of course, my questions weren't as salacious as hers were, but yeah, here we go. Now it's getting juicy.
2 years, Emily says that despite her brief time with angry reactions, Pearl has still never had a serious relationship.
Has she ever been engaged?
No, never. And she's never even been in a serious relationship. Like, honest to God, her and Wanye, like, that wasn't even that doesn't even count at all, because what was that?
And that's where we run into a bit of a problem. Pearl, as someone who has evidently never been married, never been engaged, never even held down a boyfriend longer than a few months, still somehow has the nerve to tell other women what to do in their relationships. Publicly, it's her job to do that. A huge part of her brand relies on judging other people's marriages from afar. Pearl likes the idea of being married. She wants a family someday and wants to have kids. But does that by itself mean she's a reliable source on how a marriage needs to work? What exactly gives her the right to tell others how they're doing things wrong when she herself hasn't even experienced a relationship the way she thinks she...
Doesn't it sound like he's talking about Kendra Gilliams? I mean, another relationship lady talking about all this shit and ain't never done it before. Why?
He wants it. Pearl's relationship advice might as well be completely fucking discarded, even by her own metric.
I've noticed a lot of therapists are like older single women, and I'm kind of like, if you can't maintain a relationship, why would I take advice from you? This is just something I've noticed. Yeah, like, why would I take advice from you if you can't maintain a relationship?
As Pearl continued to solidify her position in the dating community on TikTok, she eventually discovered a man named Kevin Samuels, another influencer who rose to prominence around this time for his videos on relationships, which were a tad bit on the controversial side.
Blue Exodus said Pearly is built like a loaf of Wonder Bread. When she was sitting with her legs stretched out at Blue Exodus, I was like, wow. It did look like a loaf of Wonder Bread. We are so bad. We are so bad. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
If you have made it to 35 years old and you're unmarried, you are a leftover woman.
It's cheating when you do it. You're cheating. We don't. We just have sex. Women like you die alone.
Okay, maybe a bit on the controversial side. But this is who introduced Pearl to the red pill, name dropping him in a video for the first time in 2021, where she discussed several of his beliefs, specifically his philosophy on cheating.
Oh, Triple! Triple, is this what you were trying to tell me? So she got into the red space by talking about Kevin Samuels? Are you kidding me? I am done, son. Dang. Oh, Triple, what time is it? Y'all, somebody timestamp this and tell Triple I'm shouting him out. He probably done went to sleep on me. Oh my God. Okay.
Obviously, if you have more opportunity to cheat, you're more likely to do it. But it's just,
weird to me because when I grew up, like, my dad was never like that.
See, a lot of this stuff was extremely foreign to Pearl, given that her dad never fit the mold Kevin Samuels often talked about in referencing men. Her dad never drank, never smoked, never cheated, so this kind of rhetoric coming from the manosphere was like a glimpse into a whole new world, one that Pearl was clearly willing to explore. This video in particular may seem from the title that she's challenging Kevin's beliefs, but she more so just kind of says a bunch of words for 5 minutes.
I think a lot of people cheat because of like situations that they put themselves in. So I don't know if that's like a disagreement or what.
In my notes for this one, I just wrote down, "Goddamn, she rambles. She doesn't even make much of a point here, LMAO."
Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. I'm half paying attention to driving, half paying attention to you guys.
Oh, thank you, Triple. Isa, I'm still here. Oh my God, Triple. Why you didn't tell me? Okay, it's one of two reasons. Okay. Let me keep going down the rabbit hole then. Let me
To further acquaint herself with this community, she very much began consuming as much of their content as she could, listening to their arguments and regurgitating their talking points on her own platforms.
Okay, fourth thing I've learned from the manosphere, and I'm not going to talk about if this is true or not true. Women are always willing to leave you for a better option. Women today are less marriageable than ever before. Like, women can and will take all of your money. Women will do things like withhold sex if they don't do like chores or something.
She was so excited to share what she had learned, in fact, that she even brought her family into the mix, which had some varying results.
Today I have a special guest on the channel, my little sister Amelia. She's super excited to be here. I'm going to be showing her some of Kevin Samuels' savage moments because she was not willing to sit down for a full clip. So
yeah, her sister does not give even a single fuck. Just please let her go.
Do you think women get upset at men a lot? Depends. Do you think they say things like men are trash a lot? Do you think that's okay?
Sometimes.
Really?
Depends on the guy you're talking about.
Do you think, but in general, do you think that's okay? Like, men are trash, like just in general?
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that kind of stuff.
I mean, sitting your 13-year-old sister down in front of a laptop and forcing her to watch Fresh and Fit is bad enough.
They're kind of players a little bit. You ready? Stop looking like I'm torturing you.
Why the hell are you gonna pay full price for a goddamn car that's been used? If I'm gonna invest into you, I need to know you are not used, man.
What does your YouTube feed look like on a daily basis?
It literally looks like this stuff. It's like men's dating advice.
You are so single. Someone had to say it.
But why are you also exposing her to the repulsion that is your community? I mean,
Her sister is cooler than her. Why don't you listen to your sister?
these comments are insane. She has no life in her. She's gonna do hard drugs when she gets older. She for sure is not attracting anyone in life. She will die alone. I'm not sure if she's strictly heterosexual. Your sister is clueless. Like, no man, she's just a teenager who doesn't want to watch Kevin Samuels videos at 2 in the morning. Is that so unreasonable?
So that was Kevin Samuels. What did you think?
Why is the chat so savage out here, man?
Did you think what he said was true or false?
I don't know.
If I tried showing my little sister some of Pearl's videos, I think she'd deck me in the face.
I prefer Kevin Samuels to Fresh and Fit.
I prefer Minecraft YouTubers.
Watching Pearl try to get regular people on board with her new belief system is truly a sight to behold.
A girl will only love a guy like that's like the best she can get. But if she has a better option, like that makes more money, is more attractive, is like just a better all-around option, she'll leave her current like boyfriend or husband for them. Oh.
I mean, just here you can tell her friend isn't nearly as invested in this conversation as Pearl is.
Basically, the candy store analogy is like sex is candy, and girls get it right away. But most guys don't have access to sex till their late 20s, early 30s. Okay. So if you get married like before then, they think that like girls should put up with cheating, basically. I know. Because, like, it's not fair to the guys because, like, now at 35, they finally put out their money right. They got to the gym for 5 years, did all this stuff. Now they get to have sex with a lot of people. So why would they only settle for one?
Well, then why did they get married?
Come on, candy store analogy? If you tried saying that to any person who doesn't frequent incel forums on 4chan, you're gonna sound insane. When you have to keep telling your friend not to read any of what the chat is saying on your own live stream, you know you're cultivating a really awesome fan base.
You can't read the comments. Yeah, you can't read the comments too. Like, you can't.
Which of course has only gotten better with time. 73% of these people don't think gay people should adopt. 76% think trans people should be institutionalized. I mean, what the fuck are these questions, Pearl? It's no surprise that when you confront someone in the real world with these kinds of talking points, you don't get much of a positive response.
Are women really that smart?
Of course they are. I think we're all equal.
Oh, you think we're equal? I think the men are smarter.
You didn't say so. Hell, Pearl has lost lifelong friendships over these takes. Her ex-best friend we mentioned earlier, Emily, being amongst the most vocal after Pearl publicly lied about her being too fat to get pregnant.
So Hannah and I were friends from 2002, pre-K, until last year when I stopped being friends with her. So in the beginning of her video, she's talking about our last conversation we had a year ago in March, where I confronted her about talking about women's bodies and their weight and all that cuckoo bird shit she talks about. And I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And no, she defended it all. So I was like, okay, we're done. I'm sorry.
I mean, these two were close friends. There's no disputing it. Pearl is deluding herself to the point that it's affecting her personal life. Just like how Sneeko's family didn't invite him to Christmas on account of his batshit opinions.
Do you know that this is the first year I'm not going home for Christmas? They don't, I have a blue hair woke family, kind of like you, and they don't fuck with my politics at all.
I mean, it doesn't take a blue hair people to not want to fuck with your politics. Like the Yankees.
It's never got to the point. It's never got to the point where I've been like uninvited for Christmas.
I hate to break it to you, but normal people don't give so much of a shit about chronically online manosphere garbage, like whether or not women should give back their.
You guys, I would be so depressed if my family didn't want me around because of something I said on. I would just like, oh man, that is just so sad. She lost her friend. Sneeko's family didn't invite him to Christmas. What kind of life is that where your own family is ashamed of you? Like, shame. Like, we need to bring that back. That is definitely going to be a drop. Shout out to Pooh Man and everybody that sends me videos on how to make my show cooler.
Right. In reality, these conversations are so inherently ridiculous and inconsequential compared to what the average American is dealing with. We're living in a country where 30 million people are without health insurance. Millions of already employed people are having to work multiple jobs just to put food on the table. Almost half the population can't even afford a decent home. I mean, you see how these conversations Pearl wants to have are kind of silly? I get the irony of me sitting here making a video on her, but my brain is broken. Of course, I'll indulge her arguments a little bit. I just want to be sure that we're keeping this whole mess in perspective, at least. Like, man, people are just trying to make it through the day. The last thing anyone wants to do is listen to JustPearlyThings tell them what age disqualifies women from finding a partner. Who cares? Also, asking this person about age probably isn't the best idea. What the fuck was she cooking here?
Not that it's literally any excuse that she's doing this, because what she is doing, I can't even put into words how disgusting it is. But I've known her since 2002. I do not think she thinks that way. If she does, fuck her all over again. I don't care. But I don't think she does. I think she does it to rev people up and to get more views and to get more money. So all that to say, I'm curious to see once she does find a husband and find a man, is she gonna keep this act up? Because is she gonna find somebody that shares these exact views with her?
Right.
Or is she gonna meet someone and be like, okay, I don't actually think this way.
According to both Emily and Angry Reactions, Pearl's bizarre obsession with churning out the most mind-numbing takes imaginable seemed to happen overnight.
Because a lot of people be in my comments be like, she had to have been like this when y'all was dating.
Bro, no, she wasn't at all. She was not like this, bro.
I mean, we know she used to be normal-ish. What happened then? How do you go from making such innocuous vlogs with your family to outright pandering to the lowest form of men on Twitter with no shame? Well, without making any unreasonable assumptions here, we know from Emily that Pearl has been consistently fixated on finding a boyfriend in the past, staying up late into the night, and poring over all the numbers and information she can possibly find in hopes of finally attaining a high-value man of her liking.
It's honestly like sad because she was always trying to figure out what could she do to get a husband. I always told her that she did too much research. She was always online, like looking up relationship facts and stuff like that, and she would be up late like doing it. And I'm like, just stop. Yeah, just stop doing that. Like, let's just naturally look for a man.
Which again, is fine. Everyone deserves to find love. Except I don't know how she expects to do it when this is how she advertises herself to the public. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know exactly why she pivoted so hard to red pill content. We simply don't know the definitive reason as to why she's so susceptible to the manosphere. And oh wait, there is a reason and she said it herself? Oh, okay.
Or even girls, they'll ask me, like, how can you listen to this man? And I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's real. Her answer to the question, why do you listen to this sexist trash, basically boils down to, oh, it's because I hate myself.
From a young age, I haven't thought highly of myself. I never thought that I deserved a lot, to be honest. I never thought of myself as a queen. And I never thought of myself super highly. I'm gonna just be honest here. From a young age, I was what you call humbled. Okay, most of my friends, right, were generally like more attractive than me. I was never the hot friend. Most guys, even the average guys, they would ask me about my friend first. And if that didn't work out, then they would come crawling to me. So, yeah, I would say low.
Exactly, Divine. I am so bored of her. So it's like, why is she cool? Why is she invited? Can we stop it now? Is it over? Is she done? Is this the last straw? I mean, Jay Tillman, you saw it. I saw you in the chat over there. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this video in the description. I'm kind of getting bored of it, but okay, so I've gotten my education on who this girl is. I don't see nothing cool about her. She's not married. She doesn't have the proof. Like, I follow people who I can learn from. I bought Crimson Cure's book. I'm married. Y'all see most of the people that I quote and follow and show y'all videos of are other married people or in a relationship. Like, I don't, like, what? What? If you have results, I'm fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you look like. You could be a midget. You could be, you could have a third arm growing out the back of your head. I would fuck with you if you got results. I look up to things like that. I can't learn nothing from this woman. Like, getting on a panel with this woman would just purely be to fight and to try to drag her. Why would I do that? So, okay. I'm gonna stop sharing this. I was gonna, should I show what happened last night? Do y'all want to see what happened last night? Or do y'all just want to take my word for it and go watch it later? I can drop those videos. I can drop the link to those in the description as well. But yeah, I agree with you, Mr. K2B2. There is nothing cool about her. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Ty, you want to see. Okay, so let me go back. Lord, let me go back. Child. Ooh, like we say this thing in Spanish, child la casita. It's like, girl, let me tell you, girl. It's like that. This is one of the moments. Okay. So let me see if this is the. Okay, so I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Fatty did a little chop up of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I gotta go to work too tomorrow. Like, the government back open, so I'm back on my job. But so Fatty did a mashup of what went down because it was like it's long and drawn out. But does this show Oh Boy? Because I want y'all to see Oh Boy, the Bussy Popper. Or I'm sorry, excuse me. The the freaking bootlicker. But here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna share this. Come back over here and make this pretty. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I think I'm getting a cold, y'all. Something's going on. I'm feeling a little drowsy. Okay. Oh. All right.
Comes to light.
Hold on,
Something
let
that
me start this over. So,
On
like,
this
he's
episode,
super good with AI, or maybe it's you, CEO. I'm not I'm not sure, but it's fire. It's fire. He's letting the AI tell the story of what went down last night. Okay. So it was going down in the chat. I'm going to drop the link to the real live video so y'all can go back and see me crashing out in the comments. Crashing out in the comments. Yes, I will. I'm sorry. Izzy said take some zinc. Yes, I'm going to. I'm going to double up. But okay, here we go. This is funny now. Y'all gonna laugh.
of Ladies First, the conversation was supposed to be simple.
I mean, I've interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them did, procreate and date men with felonies. That's not
Okay, does anybody see the Bussy Popper? Does anybody want to take any guesses as to who the Bussy Popper is? Anybody? Anybody? The bootlicker? Okay, here we go. Yes, the vitamin C. Yes. I do take a vitamin C in the morning. I do, but I haven't been taking my zinc because it's just too much. Like, my multivitamin is so big. It's just ugh. Okay, never mind. Pause. Here we go.
So,
Okay,
especially in the Black community, if we're going to be honest.
A discussion about attraction, dating, and why some women choose the so-called bad boy.
Okay, well, you asked me why I brought it up, the Black community, because you're Black, so you would know.
Nothing more, nothing less. But when Pearl joins the conversation, the direction changes almost instantly.
No, Tyranny, you have to be one sec. I talk again. Tyranny, one sec. Tyranny, what's that? Tyranny?
Half of Black women have herpes. Like,
what begins as a general relationship discussion suddenly shifts into a racial argument that nobody on the show brought up until she did. The panel reacts.
Tony, go sit down. Go sit down. He said, is that the brick lady at the top? Top right. He's talking about Jazz. Pearl and the brick lady on there, they would have been canceled today. No, they can't do that. They wouldn't do that. They would not do that. Oh my God. Have y'all ever seen the brick lady look that studious? And somebody was talking about Jazz's hair. I like her hair. I think it's super cute. I mean, she got a bang, But it's cute on her. It's cute on her. I don't know why they wear those thick ass, big ass frames on their beautiful petite faces, but it don't help. She look crazy as hell. You said she looked like the brick lady. I can't. Y'all see Tiffany Tyranny? She itching. She ready to get in there. She like, let me get in there. Look at her face, y'all. Look at her face. She is heated.
And respond when I'm done. This does make me angry when it's this the only thing about black men that does trigger me about the fact that when black women say something, we can respond to it and counter on it, give data and say, hey man, she not true.
The tension rises, and the conversation spirals into one of the most heated moments in Ladies First history. And later, in this same episode, something else comes to light. Something that exposes a contradiction big enough to change how the entire exchange is viewed.
So you didn't like stats, but as soon as it's convenient to talk about black people, here comes Pearl with the stats. You need to shut your mother mouth, lady.
This is what really happened.
Last week on Ladies First.
Question for Pearl, and then Yuri can actually respond, and then we go to the fellas. I see you, CJ. Pearl, do most women know about how these men move out there? Because in my head, it comes Future, Nick Cannon, Cam Newton. Like, usually the guy that has already a track record and women still flock to them. This is a very visible. I don't think this is like the woman will.
No, women know, but we hate that we love them.
That's different.
Like,
Janelle, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna let him reveal himself to y'all. Look at what Ty said, Janelle. Pay attention to this person. Pay attention to this person. Look at what Project Leroy. See how all the plantation is being represented in this right here. Just pay attention to people's faces, their mannerisms, and their talking points. Fatty is gonna mash up the most salacious parts. Like, he's so good at this. Or CEO, they're so good at this. But let me let it go. Let me let it go. Here we go. Okay.
I love him so much. I hate it. We hate that we love the criminals, the players, the rappers, in this case, the the really unstable men we just love. And you could see this because when women are young and hot, that's who we pick. When we're old, ugly, and used up, I mean, that's when we go for the stable guys. And we do a very good job. Yeah. We do a very good job convincing them we love them. So I don't know if any girl comes in and is like, I love the stable guys. It's like, at 20, did you? Usually not. So that's, and we can't help it to some degree. We cannot help that we are attracted to men that show signs of dominance. I think a lot of us we wish we could turn it off, but we can't. It's just what we're attracted to. We're biologically hardwired to do that. Unfortunately. So
we're biologically hardwired to, did you say we're biologically hardwired to want chaotic, criminal,
well, dominant? Yeah, dominant. Because you got to think of like Ted Bundy. He had women. Yeah, he had women writing him love letters. He impregnated a woman. He impregnated a woman while he was in prison for murdering women. This is a real Luigi Mangione.
I don't think that's a woman thing. I think that's a thing.
He impregnated his lawyer, who was a YT woman. So she brings up, and this is where I have just a little bit of pushback with that Shaq 2 times or whatever. She did bring up a white statistic. She did. Ted Bundy. She did. And the lady that was with Ted was also a YT lady. There are no stats that say that Black women date men in prison at more rates than white women. There is no studies out there that say that. The only study that there is says that Black people are more likely to be incarcerated. So that would naturally impact the dating pool. But there's no data that says that Black women are married to or dating all of the men that are incarcerated, or most of them, or that Black women do it more than white women. There are no stats that say that. So just because Pearl might have talked to 1,000 Black women out of the 9,000 people that sent her a survey, it doesn't mean that all Black women do is seek dysfunctional men that are in prison. And this is what she was trying to tout on the show last night. And CJ was just like eating all of the masses butter biscuits. Like, he's nodding his head, he's smiling, he has a little delight in his eyes are twinkling. Like, watch, it's just asinine.
That certain women do.
Well, you are correct.
There's no
Hold on, Jazz, let her land, and you respond. You going to get the mic, let her land.
Not every woman does that. There's different levels of dominance. However, we are still attracted to dominant men, and that does come in the form of, if a man can kill someone else, we know he can protect us biologically. So that just is what it is.
So you find you equate dominance with, you find a man that can dominate and harm a woman attractive?
That's one way that men describe it, or that's one way that men do it, and women do select those men. So I try not to apply morality to this, good or bad, it doesn't matter, because women do pick criminals. Criminals are men that have committed a violent crime are actually more likely. They are more likely to reproduce than men that haven't. So I didn't make this world. I didn't make women write love letters to Ted Bundy.
Has that been your experience? Like, are you attracted to?
Okay, so that was the passive aggressive remark that Jazz made. Okay, now this is where I was talking about like meeting force with force. Like, if somebody goes outside and picks up a stick, and then I go out and I pick up a 2x4, and whack them over the head when all they had was a little stick. That's not meaning, violence for violence. It's like you're outdoing it by getting that big 2x4 that's a lot heavier, that's going to cause a lot more damage than that little stick. So watch now where she says, is that your experience? Because now remember, the quote or the statistic or the example that Pearl walked into the conversation was Ted Bundy impregnating his attorney. Was his attorney a Black woman, or was she a YT woman? So even though Jazz is being a bit passive aggressive, when she asks Pearl, has that been your experience? She's saying that because Pearl was talking about Ted Bundy and the white woman he impregnated while he was on trial, going to jail for all of those deletions that he was doing or causing. So, like, I get that, people's niche on YouTube is about, exploiting Black women's bad behavior and trying to, account it for everything and every situation they're wrong. I don't think that they're wrong for this. They said some fucked up things, but I don't think that they're wrong for the feelings that they have. And the men don't have us on the panel to have our feelings in check. They want us on the panel to be emotional and give a little pushback so that we can keep the conversation going and be honest. about finding real solutions so that there is no freaking gender war on top of a race war and all this other bull crap. You know? So here we go.
Well, to be fair, I don't know many criminals, so that hasn't been my experience personally.
What about the people in your environment?
I mean, I've interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them did procreate and date men with felonies. That's not uncommon. So,
Okay,
especially in the Black community, if we're going to be honest, that's
well, yeah. Well,
that's not uncommon. So I don't know why you're pretending to not know what I'm talking about. You can
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
these simps, but you can't gaslight me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think you know anything about the Black community, but I will say about the white community.
Okay, so you see Mr. Bussy down there laughing, and he's squishing his eyes at Jazz and all of that. But you see the disrespect to the panel. You can do that with these simps, but you're not gonna do that with me. So like she really trying to sun everybody. Like everybody on the panel. She's really like, this is her show right now. This where she finna take it, or at least she's gonna try to.
Oh, it's a lot of white women that find, men who kill other women attractive. Those are the women that were
true, but I won't gaslight you about it. I won't gaslight you. I would say that's true. That's true. There are white women that do that.
I can't hear you.
Hold on, real quick. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna say it again. Hold on, real quick, Pearl.
I can't hear you while I'm talking. I don't even know why she even brought up the Black community.
Okay, well, you asked me why I brought it up, the Black community, because you're Black, so you would know. Because like I don't.
That is first of all,
it's like the same reason you brought up the white community, because I'm white.
I have eyes, If you're done, first of all, that's very disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
This was a conversation about.
Yes, it is.
No,
Hey, friends, we don't need that leaves.
Hold on. G Honda, what are you talking about? He says, sorry, Rose. I can't see past Just Pearly looking like Charles Manson off of Celebrity Deathmatch. Bloop, bloop, bleep, bloop. Okay, G Honda. Okay. Thank you for your contribution tonight. Yeah, that bloop-diddy bloop bloop. Get that bloop bloop out your chest. Okay, 12's in the chat. 12's in the chat. I'm just playing. Okay, calm down. Thank you for your contribution tonight, G Honda. And he says, and G Honda's been a member for a month. And he says, salute, keep cooking them rise. Okay. Or Rose. Keep cooking them Rose. I think that's what you meant. Did I get everybody? I'm sorry if I missed any. I've been like just talking and letting the thing go on. And Mr. Walker, he came through. He's been a member for 3 months. And he says, salute rosebuds and rose thorns. Salute to you, Mr. Walker. We love you. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the other live chat. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Here it goes. About to get crazy.
Jess can handle it. Let her handle it.
Go ahead.
So like I said, we were
offended. Next.
Go ahead, Jess. Let Jess finish, please. Let's go ahead, Jess.
I will. Yeah, go ahead.
Jess,
so like I said, we were speaking about relationships in general. Nobody said anything about Black or white until you brought it up, and for what reason I don't know. It didn't add anything to the conversation. First of all, you're speaking on the nature of women and how we are all naturally attracted to men who are criminals, and then you made a point to say,
in particular, yeah.
Excuse me, no, that is not the case at all for Black women. Now, if you're talking about people that are in poverty, people that live in certain situations, and
60% of Black men have been arrested by the.
Can you stop cutting her off?
Hey, one sec. Hey, friends, one second. I got you.
She's cutting me off, Ali.
I got you, Jess. You don't have to ask. I got you.
Sorry.
You all right?
Crashing out. My bad.
Just make some notes, Pearl. Let her finish. Go ahead, Jess.
That's my fault.
It's fine. Go ahead, Jess. Uninterrupted.
It's just weird that you would even have to bring up a race of people to even have the conversation. What lets me know that you don't really have information on the conversation. You're just spewing points to try to get a rise out of people because that's all you know. As it pertains to why women choose the women they want or the kind of men that they date, there are so many different reasons for that. You can't equate a person that has a felony to them being a violent criminal. That's not always the case, because I agree there are some people that marry men and women that have felonies in their background. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are violent. And then to say that Black women are the most prone to violent criminals within our community, you don't know shit about our community, Pearl. And if we're going to talk about what's happening, if we're going to make it about a race thing, let's figure out what's going on in these white communities, in these white homes, when you all are raising all the mass shooters, y'all raising kids that are taking guns to shoot at other kids, y'all going into public spaces. And I'm sure you're going to talk about Black on Black crime or whatever, but we can debunk all of that because that's through proximity. The point is that you didn't have to make it about Black or white. Keep it general, because it's very disrespectful for you to try to pigeonhole Black women when you don't know any of us at all, to make that assumption that that's what we are prone to. None of these women on this stage, myself, Tyranny, or even Athena, are dating any man that is of a criminal or that are violent. So watch what you say up here. You got a really smart mouth. And if you're going to have the conversation, try to be respectful. And all this trying to get me to hurry up, I'm going to take my motherfucking time.
Oh my God, can we get
Hey, there was rules. She has the hey, friends. We don't need it. When she lands, Pearl will have all the chance to reply. Everybody going to be quiet. Go ahead.
Look at you, Ty, being a jazz glazer. I'll allow it. I was happy that she was, she was almost there. She didn't say what I would have said, but yeah, it's like, how dare you say that Black women are prone to violent men? No, that is not the case. Just because more of us are locked up doesn't mean that we're out just looking for those kinds of men to marry. It's like, get a life. And then the men with felonies, I think they're going to quote the stat later. I think it's 30%. And then out of those 30%, most of it is non-violent felonies, Ty, to what you were saying early or in the chat just a second ago. But yeah, let me let this go. I'm sorry.
You done, Jess?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't understand why that was accepted. Like that was
wait. 1 second.
Okay.
We shouldn't accept what she said.
To say that you should know as a Black woman because you all date criminals when
So
raised.
Jess, 1 second. So this is my opinion, Jess, and correct me if I'm wrong. She punched you in the face. You have the right to punch her back. Right? Is that fair? If you felt that she punched you in the face, I have an opinion about this that I'm going to say later, right?
Okay, so you can tone police the simps and women that respond to shame, but you're not going to tone police me. So anyways, going back to the stats, the reason that I said that was two reasons. The first is that I interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them were Black women. And I just noticed that they had a propensity more likely than other races to date criminals. It's not really an insult. As I could go into details about the types of men white women tend to date that are irresponsible. I've just noticed different trends in different communities. And it's kind of backed up by data because 60% of Black men have been arrested by the age of 25. So, it's not to be rude, but I think it's more common in that community than it is.
Tony, who said that? Someone said what? She makes coffee at the MIB headquarters. The MIB headquarters is at the Men in Black. I don't know what. Said that, Tony, or are you just saying that? You are crazy. You gonna get me in trouble. We gotta keep it on the subject. Keep it on the subject. Don't get distracted by her, y'all. Come on now. Come on.
Other communities. In terms of mass shooters, I think you said white people are the majority of mass shooters. I would say that's true. And I wouldn't crash out on you for saying that. So again, if you want to get offended, that is a choice and that is your choice and you have the right to do that. So
I want to touch on this and then I want CJ and Rick the ruler to pull up and the rest of the panel. Okay, Tyranny, I see you too. So, coming from a world citizen, right? Because I live in Portugal right now. It's 2 a.m. and Pearl was in the UK for a while too. This is not a black woman thing. If you go to Japan, all those women love the Yakuza until they get older. If you go to Brazil, all those women love the kid from the favela before they get older. If you come to Europe, all these women love the guys that ride on the L Angels. Like women like danger. Like they are emotional junkies, right? And I believe that jazz actually pinpoints what it is when you put together people that are emotional junkies, which is most young women, and you put poverty together, you are going to get massive results. And in my opinion, this is why the black community in the United States is hyper exposed to these situations, is because you are mixing two components that are very dangerous. Is the level of poverty. People live on a lower socioeconomic level, and they are addicted to bad boys because that's what women do. You can go to any white college and see exactly the same type of behavior that shads are getting all the women. That's the reality. The bad boy, the football star. Like we know this is something that is a woman thing. It's just more exacerbated depending on the communities, the culture, and all that. So I actually believe that both of y'all are right on their own way. We can't, unfortunately, just be against something because it triggers our feelings. But what we have to do is be fair. If she was talking about black men, I don't think y'all will have the same type of smoke.
She was talking about black men. She said most of y'all are in jail.
No.
And none of y'all heard that.
No. There was not. Hey, Pearl, did you say most black men go to jail?
I said a
25%.
stat. I said a stat that 60% of black men have been arrested by the age of 25.
Is that the correct set?
Who the fuck is
One second. Just 1 second. Is this that correct?
You can Google it.
I know that 12%. I know 12%
We
have been
already know that
incarcerated.
there's a.
But she never said that.
I will say these, right? 1 second, please, friends. 1 second. I will say these. 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second.
It's weird.
I will say these. Hey, please, friends.
We're not even
too excited. Arrests are not convictions. I want to see the number of convictions, because arrests are not convictions. Just because somebody gets a stop and frisk, and they have like arrests are not convictions. I want to know the number of convictions so I can actually understand if these women are.
You consider the exoneration data as well.
And I speak.
Because we
Hey,
live.
CJ, relax. DJ, relax. I see you, brother.
We actually leave. First of all, we already know why that's.
Now, A7 man said they be too emotional, but you all see CJ down there, he about to lose his shit. He is just like, can I speak? He's raising his hands. He's like getting mad. Look at him now. He want to fight somebody. He got his head tilted to the side like a girl. Like, what's up? What you want to do? Like, that's what he doing right now. So A7, it's a lot of emotions right now. It's a lot of emotions. Emotions are high.
That could be
60% pretty bad, though.
It's 50%.
I just looked up the stat you asked for.
Let's prove CJ wrong. Why is he wrong that most black women are attracted to this type of man?
Pearl, no, we're not attracted to them. Their men want us. That's why they really hate us, because they can't.
That was not the question.
That's it.
That was not the question.
I'm wrong.
That was not the question. No,
Caucasian men
Tyranny, you
love
have to be. 1 second. I talk again. Tyranny, 1 second. Tyranny, 1 second, Tyranny.
Half of black women have herpes. Like,
Hey, 1 second. 1 second. No, 1 second. 1 second. Pearl.
Hey, for real.
No. Hey, everybody. 1 second. 1 second, Pearl. I'm asking you a serious question, right? Because we had you on the panel once, and Andrew Wilson was with us, right? And Andrew Wilson all of a sudden starting to do FUBU remarks and talking about black brands and all that. And I asked him, hey, brother, I see your content all the time. You usually don't talk like this. So my question is, and be honest about it, is there any of your statements you're doing today, statements that are made to trigger the crowd that you have right now?
I actually came here prepared because I thought the topic was black fatigue. So I came prepared with stats, facts, data, and statistics. I came,
but the topic is not black fatigue, right?
That's what we spoke about.
No, but is the topic black fatigue?
That's what you told me the topic was.
I invited you, right? And I told you already that the next topic would be black fatigue. We already addressed it. But what is the relevant part about making it about race when we're here about the relationships? Why go straight? That's twice. That's going to trigger people. And now if they start saying stuff about white people, now we're going to have a race war. We want to have the conversation and intentional about the relationships, but it is turning into race conversation instead of a relationship conversation. That's all we're addressing. We want to have the conversation, but it's becoming a race conversation.
It's interesting.
And we will have the race conversation, the black conversation. Hold on real quick, Big Rick. We want to have the black and white conversation, but when it's said, when it's almost like it's said to instigate or stir something up, it seems like it's becoming racial. You're saying something.
What I thought was that we were adults here and we could talk about facts, data, and statistics without getting upset. Maybe we're not. I don't know.
No. If I did,
but it's not that, right? For example,
you don't
off the cuff,
just because the girls are getting upset.
No, that's not, Carl. That's not the case, right? For example, we were having a conversation about criminals, and you say black woman after herpes. Like it's a very
she said that she actually brought it up first, and you guys are talking to me. She brought it up first.
No, Pearl, you brought up the fact that black women like criminals, and then when she said, "What if she said that white women like men who smell like dogs?" Then it becomes racial.
I don't mind. That's okay. I don't get offended. One side's getting offended.
So as long, but look, just know that if that happens, then it becomes a racial conversation.
Okay, so
but
what?
You came here to talk about. No. But what happens is if we have a racial conversation, and it makes everybody else. First of all, I don't care about how we look in regards to money and all them things. I do care about how people respect themselves. So we should be able to have a respectful conversation without making it racial, blatantly racial.
Nobody
not being factual, making it blatant racial.
Okay, well, if I'm being honest, I think you guys are overreacting. I think the guys are white knighting a little bit for the women. I don't think we need to get emotional because there's facts about race. And if you can't handle it, I can go. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, but Pearl, the thing is, we are not being emotional because let me give you an example of 1 second, please. 1 second, please.
I'm gonna bounce.
No, it's fine. Let me tell you one thing, Pearl, before you go, Pearl. Hey, please, 1 second. So that's the thing, right, Pearl? If I was playing the same game that you are playing, I would say, you know about these things because you are the one that dated the black bum, a black homeless man, right? I would literally come out of the woodwork because I know your story.
God forbid I help.
Right, and these not black women that are just addicted to black bums. You are addicted to a black bum because that was the person that you actually dated for a bunch of years, right?
God forbid I help the homeless.
No, he was not homeless.
No, he actually wasn't, but that's what everyone says.
He was sleeping on your house.
No, it's not the full. I mean, it doesn't matter, but
yes, but my point is this, Pearl. We're treating you with respect. You can definitely touch on race. We can literally do shows about race, put the table to you, and you can do whatever you want. But if we are going to try to either get clippable moments or something like that, we know more about you than you know about us. So if you want to go there, we can go there. I take my gloves off and we can do whatever we want. And if nobody can be offended because of black this and black that, you are going to talk about the time where you were a black homeless man, fat mother that you were having in your house, right?
Fatty, you're fat too. It's like
absolutely. And you have no eggs. You are mad at me because I have more teeth than you. That's why you're mad, right?
We could go back.
That's why you're mad, right? Because I have more teeth than you.
So again, I thought we were adults so that we could talk about.
Oh, we are definitely adults. Let me ask you something. What do you think about black fatigue?
All right, so I do appreciate you guys having me on. I really do.
Can you say what you think about black fatigue before you go?
I really did want to do this, but apparently we can't do the facts, data, and statistics. Thank you guys so much for having me on. If you want to do my channel, it's just
Pearl. If we came on your show and started talking about white men and white women, you're so disingenuous.
This is Sparta!
off, but we can't. It's just what we're attracted to.
Okay, y'all. So look, she gets kicked off. She goes away, and then this dude right here puts sorry, excuse me. Ooh, pause, because I almost said the real word. Bussy CJ leaves Fatty's chat. He leaves the panel. I'm sorry. He leaves the panel and he goes over to Pearl. Like, Pearl starts trolling us in the chat after she drops here. And I guess she gets a wild hair from being, kicked down into the pit. Then she goes into the chat. We're dragging her for filth in the chat. Then she decides to go live on her own channel. I guess he might have gotten the notification that she was live because she was live streaming their Fatty and Ali show, talking shit about them while they were having their show, telling her chat to go spam Fatty and Ali's chats and basically ruin the show. So it caused a very big disturbance. Obviously, today, a lot of content has been generated because of this, but this bitch shouldn't be allowed to come into our spaces and talk to us about anything. She's operating in bad faith. She is not of like. She's just not. Like, some stuff, it just don't need to be talked about with them. This is coming from someone that is mixed and has them in her family. I know these people. I know them. Not all of them think like my mother. Very rare do I meet someone that thinks like my mother. Very rare that I meet one of them that thinks like my mother. Let me say it right. Let me say it clearly. There's not a lot of people in my mother's side of the family that thinks very highly of us. There's no way I would invite them to have a conversation because they're so guarded, and the caste system comes from Spain. The Spanish made that. The first time I was called the N-word was at the pool at my grandparents' vacation home in Spain. My grandfather mollywopped that college kid, for calling me the N-word. But I was so confused because I had heard him, my own grandfather, speak like that about my dad. Now, my dad, my FBA dad, is in Spain right now. I will post a picture of him tomorrow, taking care of my mother's father. And this man is leaving all of his money and all of the things that he has to my dad, because my dad, there's nothing he can say. My dad is like tried and true, held his daughter down for 47 years. And now as my dad is holding his old ass down, as shady and as fucked up as this man was to my father, and my dad is still honoring my mother's, the love that he has for my mother and taking care of this shitty old man. So when I say, why are you inviting them to the barbecue? I'm saying that wholeheartedly as a person that wouldn't invite half of my own family to my wedding. To my wedding. Do you understand that I had to, like I said, there's not very many women. My mom is Spanish. She identifies as a European person because Spain is in Europe. There are not very many people that think like my mother. I have not met many of them. And I just don't feel like Pearl is one of them, because why is it so easy to say things like that to get a rise out of people? I would never want people to think that I'm that low and evil of a person to think that my race is better than you and your race. That is absolutely fucking crazy. If you need a heart today and the doctor says there's a black heart and a white heart, you're not going to fucking care what color heart it is. Is it going to work when you put it in my body? That's what you're going to care about. That's what I'm going to care about.
to. We're biologically hardwired to do that. Unfortunately. So
we're biologically hardwired to.
Okay, so I accidentally moved this all the way back. So I'm just we're gonna, Mr. Fantastic says some things. We're gonna go on to the next thing because I gotta get my butt up to bed by at least 11:30. But we're gonna let this last video. I'm gonna stop sharing this one. And I have the other one already pulled up. Let me see. All right. So this is an old video. It's another video from 2 years ago, right? Or yeah, 2 years ago. This one is from Jason Black, right? Yeah. Okay. So in this one, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but the reason why I wanted to play this is because this is the reason why I will never go anywhere near this woman. And if she ever pops up to anywhere where I'm at, I'm going to immediately exit stage left because I don't want these problems. Okay. And she is a problem. All right. Like I'm doing this for fun. I don't, like I've already learned on the playground that, she reminds me of this little girl I had a problem with back in the day that was redheaded. Her name was Ethel. And me and Ethel, we lived next door to each other, but she wasn't nice to me because I was different. And it took me a real long time to understand why Ethel wouldn't be my friend. But I quickly understood as soon as I got to middle school what the problem was. And it wasn't anything I could ever change. You feel me? Without saying what it was. But yeah, Ethel's father was, my dad was his superior. So although we were neighbors, and she didn't like me, she had to play nice as much as she could because my father was her dad's boss. So I think it was kind of like, you go play with her, you be nice to her. But it was like, we don't really fuck with her. We not taking her nowhere. You play with her in the yard and that's it. That's how it was with Ethel. And Pearl reminds me of that. Just her name, Pearl, sounds old. Like, who names their daughter Ethel in the 80s? I don't know, but here we go. So this video is from Jason Black, and he's going to explain to all of us why she should never be invited to the barbecue. Okay, here we go.
Tonight's program is going to be a flamethrower. You've been forewarned. Well, I've been spending all this time telling people about integrity and why that matters, and it seems a lot of folks are just used to letting snakes snuggle up right next to them here. And now exactly what I predicted it was going to occur the whole damn time has come to pass. I warned everyone a long time ago about some of these carpetbaggers and culture vultures. I even said, you know what, if some of these Kevin Samuels listeners who have spent their whole time sitting up here with no integrity, you're going to turn around and they're going to be led by a white woman one day. And sure enough, that's come to pass too. Well, guess what here, folks? There are a lot of folks who were sitting up here for the longest time, butt kissing and being groupies. They were unassuming and unthinking. And now that these white carpetbaggers have reached a big enough number, now they're starting to bare their fangs. But then again, they were bearing them the whole time. Folks just didn't want to see it there. And now they've decided to trot out a format change. So they built their audiences, ostensibly speaking, to and about black folk and black issues and black culture. But now that they want a format change, it's 180 degrees diametrically opposed to where they started. And a lot of folks who've been lapping up behind them like dogs are looking pretty foolish right now. So where am I going to start with this here? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to start with everyone's favorite new sycophantic interloper, JustPearlyThings here. And some of you are fans, unthinking individuals in your own right. And that's okay, because we're here to hurt your feelings in that regard, because you fell for it. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with JustPearlyThings, she basically is a little white girl who made Very few bones about the fact that she just saw this as something she can make money off of, and she has been an interloper into it ever since. She has no connection to black people of the black street whatsoever. I warned people about this from day one, and a bunch of folks tried to ignore that. I'm going to come to Adam in just a few moments. So for those of you who came here for Adam No Jumper, I'm going to get to know Jumper here in just a little bit. But I haven't heard nearly as many people say as much about Just Pearly Things recently. Because while everyone is talking about how Adam and No Jumper were sitting there talking to Richard Spencer, I didn't hear too many people here talking about how Just Pearly Things did an interview a couple of weeks ago with Nick Fuentes. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the alt-right, or if you're so brain-numbed that you don't remember the alt-right riot in Charlottesville, Virginia, then you don't know that Nick Fuentes is one of the notorious right-wing white supremacist personalities who was there. And Just Pearly Things felt like, well, this would be a wonderful person for her after all this time and all these years. All of a sudden, she wants to hold an interview with him. Not a debate, an interview. So I decided to go ahead and do the work of the media here, and I checked it out for myself. And let me tell you, yeah, they did exactly what you all are afraid of, what you'd be thinking about. What I want to do here is I want to start with Charlottesville, by the way. Let's go ahead and just start there because maybe Jason's making things up. But she asked him about his credentials and why he is so controversial. And listen to what they say about Charlottesville.
Well, you know, the rest.
No, I don't even remember. So what happened? Someone died, didn't it?
Yeah, this woman died. And there's a lot. It's very contentious what exactly happened there because
there was a shooting. Is that what happened?
No, she got ran over by a car.
Oh, okay, it's a Charlottesville shooting, but
yeah,
on here. But okay, she got ran over by a car, and that was who ran her over.
This guy who was with this group called Vanguard America.
His name was James Alex Fields, and her name was Heather Heyer. I know, I did a documentary about it. Did you see how dismissive that was? And by the way, this sets the tone for Just Pearly Things. She spends this entire time acting like a dumb ditzy blonde. She's gonna pretend that she doesn't know anything about any of this. But throughout the interview, she's gonna keep snitching on herself and making it clear how much she knows. So she's going to spend the whole time pretending that she doesn't know anything about Nick Fuentes, even though you asked him to be on your program. She's going to pretend she doesn't know anything about the alt-right, anything about anti-Semitism, anything about white supremacy, and then periodically she's going to switch up when she forgets herself or he says something that she can't resist commenting on, and then all of a sudden she going to start letting the real thing come out. So I want you all to understand.
So I actually think Nick is like CJ, Ty. I don't think Nick is into girls. I don't think he's into women. I mean, he has a very like there's a question mark. And if there's a question mark, that there's a problem. That's a red flag. In my opinion. I don't know. I think I snapped. No, you better wait for your treat and lay down, mister. You lay down. Sorry, y'all. That's Winston. He wants me to give him a treat so he can get in his bed and go night-night.
That going forward, she starts letting the real thing come out. And they're talking about Charlottesville, and she's acting like she doesn't know what happened there. She's not sure what occurred. Now, when it goes on here, he's talking to her about Israel and Palestine, and she goes on the ditzy blonde routine again. It's really kind of embarrassing, but she does it and then starts telling on herself.
Really? They did, Jolie? Oh my goodness, I have to look that up. Oh, Jolie, I had no idea. I'm just going off of vibes, but that is the vibe that I get. Lord. Okay, let me stop. Okay.
you. And so they blacklisted me. They cut me off. Then they went out everywhere to Media Matters, which is this left-wing hit piece mill, and they started sending clips from my show and saying, this guy's a Nazi, do hit pieces on him, call my boss, try to get me fired. So
tell me the Israel issue, because just for the average person isn't going to know what you're talking about.
Sure.
And I sure don't, so.
Yeah,
well, now, did you hear that? So she tells on herself there. Tell them about the Israel issue, because the average person isn't going to know. Oh, and I.
And what is everybody's obsession with Israel? Like, mind your American business. Like, that is what my dad would tell me. Mind your American business. Like, stay out of them folks' business. Like, why do they always have these weird talking points about things that don't affect us here? Or maybe they do affect us here. Maybe I haven't been down that rabbit hole and I don't know what I'm supposed to know yet about that. But the fact that they're always talking about this place that I don't think any of them have actually gone to is just so weird to me. It's like, why do you care so much? Why don't you think about what's going on in your city, your lakes, your water, your air quality? Like, there's so many things you could worry about in the state that you're in. Weird. They want to go to all these other people barbecues. Stay at your own damn house and eat. Damn.
I certainly don't know. Now, for those of you who've been following this and been following me all this time, you recognize hardcore white supremacist strategy when you see it. You recognize hardcore white supremacist strategy when you see this. So she's barely being subtle anymore because she knows the points that she wants to make. So she's trying to tiptoe around it and tiptoe through it, but she keeps telling on herself.
That I was like, yeah, okay. But then I started to...
And wait, just sorry to break it down a little. Israel versus Palestine, you're saying that there's like a war there going on?
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't know about the conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians, and yet she's engaging in a conversation specifically asking about the Israelis and the Palestinians. This is insulting to people's intelligence. She wants him to do all the heavy lifting so she can say, oh, I didn't say this. I mean, he was the one who said it. I didn't say this. Not me. Now, for those of you who may be thinking, well, Jason, this is about Jewish people in Israel and Palestine. What's that got to do with us? This is where dumb people here make their mistakes. This is where dumb people make their mistakes. The devil is in the details. Once again, she acts like she doesn't know what any of this is about. She has no clue what's going on.
The narrative that, because if I remember correctly at the time, the narrative was that Palestine was doing it. Is that untrue?
Well, so she's talking about terrorism and terrorist acts. Fuentes is talking about the Jews starting it, the Zionist Jews starting with terrorist tactics first. And she sits there and acts like she doesn't know anything about that, remember? But then she starts saying, oh, well, if I remember correctly, I thought that heavy, it ain't gonna be that hard. Oh, yes, it is. Y'all, if I am serving up the heat tonight, give me a...
You're pushing is dangerous and hateful and anti-Semitic and blah, blah, blah. Never talk to me again. The whole crew blocked me on Twitter, stopped talking to me. And then I got a call from my boss at RSBN a week later, this guy, Joe Seals, and he says, Cassie has been calling me every day for the last 2 weeks saying that I need to fire you because you're racist and you're an anti-Semite. So not only does she cut off the friendship and blacklist me, but then she starts calling my boss.
She Karen'd you, huh?
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah. Was she white?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the best Karens.
Yeah,
we do Karen it better than anyone else.
That's true. Yeah, that's not sure that's like something to be proud
Wait
of.
for it.
It kind of is though, actually. I'm actually in a way kind of like pro Karen.
Karens are needed. I'm not saying like sometimes we're in the wrong, but I honestly think like Karens are the ones that do the shit that no one else wants to do. Now, you might have been on the negative end of the Karen stick, right? But they all probably wanted you fired or wanted you blacklisted, right? Karen's just the one that did it.
Yeah, that's right.
So from my point of view, if the guy next door is having this loud party and I'm the one that goes and complains, everyone wanted it to stop.
That's right.
I'm pro Karen.
I am too.
So all of you Negroes talking about the Karens calling the police on you and the little black kids at the swimming pool and calling the cops on you. She's pro Karen. You know, the guys, she couldn't just say the black guys, the guys next door playing the music too loud. I'm the one who calls the police. I'm the one who calls the police. I was warning you all about this chick from day one. And because there is just a white butt-kissing gene in so many people, when I warned about this chick from day one and said she doesn't even need to be let in the neighborhood, much less let in the front door, I said that then, and a bunch of Negroes sitting up here talking about, well, don't worry, she got a pass from Kevin and Fresh and Fit. They say she aight. All right. Bunch of Negroes trying to be social climbers. Next thing you know, you gone and she's here and she is building the white supremacist institution right in front of your faces. But Jason was wrong all this time, right? Jason was just a hater all this time, though you can't tell me what exactly it was that I was, quote, hating on that was worth supporting. Now, if you're a brainless, gutless groupie, your feelings are very hurt right now. You spent a whole lot of time sitting up here defending this. But Jason was wrong all this time. For the past 2 years when I was warning about this, I was wrong all this time, allegedly, right? Oh, you damn right I'm going to rub your face in it now. Because for those of you who were sitting up here in the comment section and complaining, you look like stone cold asses today. You look like stone cold asses. Well, Jason, some of you now, some of y'all are on extra strength spicy coonism. Well, Jason, I mean, just because she said that she loved Ben Shapiro, and just because she said that she is a Karen and that she loves Karens, well, I mean, that don't sound great right there, but I mean, you know, that's not really that bad right there, Jason. Some of y'all right there are extra super spicy coonish. Well, let me tell you right now, your girl didn't cut you no slack. She cut you no slack whatsoever. I wonder what Miss Pearlythings thinks of African immigrants versus Black Americans, specifically descendants of slaves, foundationals. I wonder what she thinks of that. If we get into the immigration discussion, I wonder what she's gonna say if you ask her about that. Brace yourselves, all of her supporters.
No. And that's not a conservative position, especially not 50 million people in 10 years.
Right.
Because America's got 300 million. So, you know, what is that? 1/6 of the population in 10 years.
And so why is that?
Why does he support that?
No, why are you against him pro? Because in my head, see, I hire people from Africa, right? Shout out Blessing.
Yeah.
And I just see like the work ethic of people that are like not from America, and they often work harder than the people that are from America. So in my head, it's like, wouldn't it help us economically if we had more, like, if they had a certain like mindset in order?
Well, I told you were gonna get your hearts and your feelings and your souls broken. There's no way you can defend her now and sit up here and say you cool with it. She just outright told you, well, they work harder than people. Now you know she means black. I like my African immigrants. They work harder than people from America.
And when she was rebutting Fatty and Ali, she was saying, you know, if I was a channel of 5,000 subscribers talking to somebody with 1 million plus subscribers, I would listen to what they were telling me to do. Like, as saying that she told Ali to change the title to Black Fatigue. He didn't do it. And she kept trying to like force it on the show. And it's like, is that the work ethic she was looking for? Was she looking for Ali to acquiesce like her so quote unquote Africans do, because they have a different work ethic than Black Americans? And I don't know if Ali is a Black American. I'm just assuming, because she was kind of like talking in that tone as she was replying to what was going on Fatty's panel. She was speaking very like, it was weird. It was very weird.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to give you any place to hide. You know you're guilty. You know if you've been listening to her. You know if you've been big upping her. You know if you were saying Jason just a hater and sometimes some other folks tell the truth. Jason, you just don't trust these people like that. Yeah, where are they at now? Where are they going to be at now after tonight? Folks, we only 20 minutes in tonight. We are 50 miles off in the woods and we're only 20 minutes in. Let's hear it from the Black winosphere, all these butt-kissing Negroes who were so desperate to get on her program and get patted on the head by her and wanted to make her in charge of the village. By the way, where you at now? Where you at now? No, Jason ain't cooking, Jason's roasting.
10 years.
And so why is that?
Why does he support that?
No, why are you against him? Because in my head... See,
okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit of this.
It must be right. Oh, you don't get.
Hold on.
Oh, actually, I kind of understand why you're saying that.
Fundamentally different country, because people are not interchangeable. And it's not to say that we don't like them. It's not to say that they're inferior. It's not to say anything about them. But you can't take America that.
Keep that in mind now. Well, it's not to say that they're inferior or anything like that. Keep that in mind and watch what she says next in reaction.
It's 90% white in 1965, and it's going to be 80% non-white in 2100, and say that's the same place. You know?
So how, like, isn't that what they did to America when they took it over from the natives that were on this land? Didn't they like push them out to reservations, and now they are the dominant? So that should never happen onto them the way that they do it onto others. Got it. And so Pearl identifies with this. Watch.
So that's why they call you a white supremacist.
That is why they say that.
Because you feel like by changing the entire demographic makeup of a country, it's going to completely change the country. The same way if in Poland they switched it out with Nigerians, it would be a completely different country.
Exactly, yeah. How do you...
So do you see her little evil diabolical mind? She goes to Poland and their Nigerian immigrant status, because she's familiar with the EU and how these countries take in refugees from Africa. Germany did it too when I lived there. I lived close to Africans. She brings up Poland and Nigerians, but she can't bring up Americans and the natives that were on this land before they decided to come here and colonize it. They are always looking outside of the shit that they do. So why, again, would we invite her to our barbecue and to our intimate conversations? Why would we care what the hell she has to say about relationships or anything? She doesn't have any relationship. What would she be talking about? Why was she invited? Like, it was just like, it was going to be a good show. Like, it was going to be great.
Well, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I mean, did you think that makes me a white supremacist to say that?
No, that kind of makes sense, like what you're saying.
Whoa! Do you now remember what I've always taught you all? If you want to know what black people think, let a white person ask. Well, you know what? If you want to know what a white woman thinks, let a white male ask. And you heard what he just said. Well, yeah. Do you think I'm a white supremacist? No, actually, I kind of understand why you're saying that, Mr. Alt-Right Charlottesville. Now, understand, this next part here is rather crucial because once she starts going, she ain't gonna stop. All you just pearly things, sycophants and zombies. Oh, I'm turning all your sacred cows into hamburger today. You're not gonna like me for real after this program. You're not gonna like me for real because that little guilty feeling that was nagging you before is gonna be banging upside your head. Let me let the whole clip play for you. Now that you've heard him set it up, let me let the whole clip play for you now.
They call you a white supremacist.
That is why they say that.
Because you feel like by changing the entire demographic makeup of a country, it's going to completely change the country. The same way if in Poland they switched it out with Nigerians, it would be a completely different country.
Exactly, yeah. How do you feel? Well, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I mean, did you think that makes me a white supremacist to say that?
No, that kind of makes sense, like what you're saying. Personally, I'm trying to get my Africans in America, so we're not gonna support that. Look at, please make it easy for me to immigrate next year.
Well, I will say, hey, they are more industrious than American blacks.
Get blessing in.
He can stay.
Well,
did you hear that? Well, they are more industrious than American blacks. Yeah, all you just butt-kissing pearly things. Yeah, you heard that now, didn't you? Well, they are more industrious than American blacks. I want to get my Africans. I want to get my Africans over here to America. They're talking about your silly asses like you're a purse or a pair of shoes. And don't worry, there's plenty of them over there who are sitting up there laughing. They're in the studio, by the way. They're in the studio with her now, laughing and chuckling up a damn storm while
The dog was burrowing in his little bed. But I was saying convergence. This is Jason Black. He has a channel called The Business, and he has a show about once a week where they discuss like things going on in pop culture. Like when you go over to his page, you'll see some very salacious thumbnails, and none of the episodes will let you down. I promise you. You will learn something. You will be thoroughly entertained. You will get mad. You will get sad. He will take you on all the emotions. Okay, the emotional roller coaster. But yeah, like, and I was gonna say, like, my question to y'all was, do you think that, because Project Leroy said we can't say that Ali is FBA. Y'all don't think they're trying to work with Pearl for a green card. I hope that she doesn't think that those, that Fatty, she's going to replace Fatty and them, with her old crew from England that were all Africans trying to get to America, I guess. But yeah, like, this is it right here. Like, after this episode, or after this happened with Just Pearly Things, we had seen her with MTR, the lead attorney, Obsidian. They were all working with her. The other guy, the other guy that they talk about, Donovan Sharp, all of them were like Just Pearly Things glazers. That's why I'm not subscribed to the lead attorney, was because of Jason Black. I had unsubscribed to him too. Well, I didn't unsubscribe from MTR, but I did unsubscribe to the lead attorney after, because Jason did a separate video of just the lead attorney and his bootlicking with Pearl. But Convergence, you got to get up on Jason Black. You won't be disappointed.
Massa is sitting up here going crazy talking about you. Oh, I'm going to spin it again because I know you don't want to hear it.
If in Poland they switched it out with Nigerians, it would be a completely different country.
Exactly, yeah. How do you feel? Well, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I mean, did you think that makes me a white supremacist to say that?
No, that kind of makes sense, like what you're saying. Personally, I'm trying to get my Africans in America, so we're not gonna support that. Look at, please make it easy for me to immigrate next year.
Well, I will say, hey, they are more industrious than American blacks.
Get blessing in.
He can stay.
Well, look at everyone.
Are you still laughing?
No, it's not.
Because I never was. When folks were calling me a hater and they were trying to invite Becky to the barbecue, and they sat up here and let other people smuggle the language in, but being an internet fanboy or fangirl is just irresistible to some. Well, I warned you that this would be the result, and you were sitting up here trying to call me names. All I can assume right now is that you are just thrilled to have your lips wrapped around her butt cheeks. Well, I'm not going to join you. So yeah, I've been ringing the bell and sounding the alarm for years now. Other folks got caught with their drawers down. I've been saying this the entire time. Not this one. Not this chick in particular. Not her. She's dirty. The paperwork's dirty. Down the board. Folks were sitting up here trying to argue with me. Which just really...
Well, Izzy, my point in making this tonight and changing the topic that I had originally hoped to talk about was like, I want to work with other content creators and I want to be able to like partner up, but I don't want to I was offered to come to this panel. I didn't go. It was one thing, at first it was me running from tyranny and not wanting to do ladies first because it's Sunday and I know she was going to be on there. And then it went from worrying about tyranny to like, would I do it? Should I go up, on a panel with Pearl? And I was just like, I'm having so much fun with the family. I'm just gonna, I'll do the next one. I'll pass on this panel is what I said. And I should have just, went home, got in my PJs and watched Lifetime. But instead, I still wanted to support Ali and Fatty. So I was like, let me get in bed and, cuddle up with hubby and watch the show anyway. Send in my super chats, talk with the chat. Because it's fun. It's usually a good conversation. They were going to talk about Vivica Fox and 50 Cent. I had the questions here, so I knew what they were going to ask. So I was like dialed in. I was ready to like listen to see, if tyranny was going to come up, what was she going to say about 50 Cent and Vivica Fox. I pretty much felt like they were going to take Vivica's side. And that is what I was thinking was going to happen. I had no idea that, because at first Pearl wasn't on the panel. It started out with just everyone else. And then she eventually joined in. It derailed. It just completely went off the track, and it was exactly what she wanted to do. And the only thing that her audience was doing while she was over there telling them to troll Fatty and Ali, they were talking, the stuff that they were saying about Black people was breaking my heart. And the fact that CJ left Ali and Fatty to go and bootlick Pearl on her channel, not only was he, you guys, he didn't just leave the panel and go into her chat. He was on her panel. He left Fatty's panel to go to her panel and down talk Black folks on her panel. That's what the Bussy Popper was doing. And then Ali finished the show, but got down off it sooner. Fatty closed out by himself because he wanted to go over there and be like CJ, like, for one, what are you doing? That's number one. And number two, like, is all of this necessary? Like, you straight up came over there race baiting. Ali's trying to defend himself because he knows that he's about to get dragged the next day because the women are going to say that they never support Black women and they're letting, Pearl tear Black women down. So it's just been a clusterfuck this week. So my goal in doing this video today is just to encourage, other content creators, like we can go viral and get followers and subscribers and money and monetize and sell our products. We don't need to invite, the fox into the hen house or whatever. What is that saying, y'all? We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. It's just like Tariq Nasheed. He went into that space one time with Myron and them. I forget, I think it was a Twitter space or a TikTok space or whatever, where he roasted Myron and them. And ever since he's done that, they're trying to, have another debate and one up him because they've been reading and trying to get their talking points better. And he's like, no, I'm not coming over there to talk to y'all unless y'all pay me. So unless Pearl is paying to come onto your panels and your podcasts, don't have her there. Especially don't be fucking paying her, sending her no money. What? No. So that's my goal for today is, she ain't all that. What made her cool in the first place? She ain't all that. I'm trying to expose. She ain't all that. Why are y'all bringing her over here? Leave her out of this. Let her be over there where her YT supremacist people, spouting all of the racist talking points that they want to talk. I watch Media Man. I also wrote down a laundry list of talking points to refute everything that they have to say bad about Black people. But that ain't what this is about. We already know. Why do I have to tell you what we already know? I'm trying to get down to the bottom of why do y'all keep letting her come around us? And if she gonna be there, I'm not gonna be around. So I can only just start with myself, Izzy. I'm not doing no fucking panels with her. I'm married. I have a child. I am accomplished. I have degrees. And that lady makes me want to throw all that out the window to get at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, how do you get on into a Black space and talk at Black people like that? That is just like, she wasn't even doing that when she was in London with all of those King Riches and all of them. She wasn't talking like that at those men, but she was talking crazy and wild like that to Ali and Fatty. Why was she doing that? I don't know. So I'm going to let this play a little bit. Then we're going to watch a funny and go to bed because my butt got to get up early and walk the dog at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
It tells you how many folks out here really do have this white butt kissing fetish. I said her by name. Well over a year ago, I said her by name, and I said she's going to end up leading y'all, and I'll be damned. I'm not done yet. Jason, let us breathe. Oh, you don't get to breathe. White mommy did this to you, not me. Jason, how many more clips you got? You don't want me to say that number out loud. Jason, you really did this deep of a dive. I damn sure did. I damn sure did. I did not bring receipts. I brought invoices. I'm telling all of you, not what you paid, but what you owe. You think you've heard her say the worst yet? You haven't even heard the worst yet.
Very industrious.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people that would like to be a YouTuber because they'd like people.
Okay, now let me back up just a little bit more here because he's talking about people being hardworking. He's talking about people in general from various other places. I think he mentioned Germany. But I want you to get the full context of this so when she says what she says, it smacks you upside the back of the head like a cinder block.
I was like, stop, no. They all said I was crazy. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Austin.
Well, but you're very industrious.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people that would like to be a YouTuber because they'd like people to care about their opinions and like what they ate for lunch and, you know, things about my life that just make sense or whatever. But how many people could make a company and deal with the things you deal with, you know, like recruiting and, you know, because I mean, not on the same scale as you, but I do things and it's tough. You know, it's a business. It's fun in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, it's a business. And that is a German attribute to be industrious. I'm Italian. The only times I'm on time for things is when I like get the time wrong, when I think I'm supposed to be there way earlier than I'm actually supposed to be there. Because I thought I was supposed to be here at 3.
Oh, really?
That's why I texted you. I texted you, I'm on my way because I thought I was already 10 minutes late when I was leaving.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
Where are all the folks who said I was a hater? Where are all the folks who were sitting up here saying, well, Jason, you reaching, you stretching? Where are all of them now? I want to know where all of them are after tonight. Yeah, ha, 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 he. What's so damn funny? What's so damn funny now? Oh yeah, before this is over, I'm gonna name names. What's so damn funny now? You can't lie and say you didn't see this. Jason Black has been talking about this now for over a year, for about 2 years now, and I've been naming this chick in particular. I said it from day one. Hey, she doesn't need to be given any space around here. I said it the whole time. Where are the folks who are sitting up criticizing me now? Because you gonna have to justify this. And you're going to have to justify why it is that Jason said it the whole time and you were defending it the whole time and you're just now saying something. By the way,
you guys, this was 2 years ago. So 2 years later, people are still allowing her in their spaces, wondering why she's making things racial. Oh my God. It's just like, oh, I was so mad last night.
Wait, yeah, you all thought she was going to leave it alone.
No.
That wasn't Fuentes who brought up the black people this time. He talked about him being late, and then she brings up the black folk around her. You know, those cute little African pets that she has working for her. She's the one who brings them up. Not Fuentes. So if you want to know why I let that whole clip play with that whole segment like that, so you can get the whole context. Oh, let me go ahead and back it up. Jason, you know, I was a coon and a fool, but are you going to really keep humiliating me? Oh, you damn right I am.
When I was leaving.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time. I don't mean
No, he's really offended.
Is he? Because he didn't leave. It's because he's black. Folks, this isn't 2 years ago. This is 2 weeks ago. Let me say this again. This video isn't from 2 years ago or 2 months ago. This is from 2 weeks ago. What in the hell have all of you people who've been showing up on her channel What the hell were you all thinking? Oh, I'm showing you. What the hell were you thinking? Did you do any paperwork check? Or does it even matter to you? Because judging by some of these hairlines and some of these attitudes, I don't know. But by the way, if I was aware of this from day one, how in the hell is it that I was aware this was happening and I was aware of this weeks ago and you didn't check the pedigree, you didn't check the technique, you didn't check the paperwork?
Look at MTR back there on all of her on the two thumbnails up here.
Jason knew about it. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get to naming names in a moment. Jason, you showing faces, you going sideways. Oh, no, I'm gonna name names before it's over. I just want to make sure that we saute the chickens before they come home to get roasted. Y'all got a lot of damn explaining to do.
Yes, we are.
What I want to do here is I want to start with Charlotte.
We are so emotional, blank nobody. We are. We are. Yes, we are. Right? I didn't get why you said that, but okay.
They start warming up with that one, with the white people who are not considered to be white enough because they remind them of niggas. So you listen for them to start giving you the warm-up act, and then eventually, you know, when they get warmed up, they're going to come to us, and they're going to be stomping. So how do you explain away that one? You're just going to have to tell us that you agree with that, right? Because that's what you're going to have to say if you condone her or condone her in your presence. You're going to have to say that you agree with that. That you agree that she's just got a difference of opinion about slavery, that slavery was exaggerated. Those are not Jason Black's words, those are hers. So many members of the Black winosphere cooning their way through life, they got a whole lot of explaining to do now, don't they? Or then again, maybe they don't, because you got to understand, when you are accustomed to kissing white ass, you will just explain away anything and see how many other folks go along with you. But after tonight, you will not be able to claim that you didn't see it and you didn't know it. Oh, you do now. You certainly do now.
So I guess because I didn't know, I think Jason Black exposed this first because nobody was talking about this interview, and that's what made MTR and everybody start pulling away from Pearl, or some people pull away.
Let me go ahead, Jason. I'm gonna back it up because
no, we're not gonna back it up. No,
after she's built herself up. We'll show some white folk, but when you click on this all black people, after she done built herself up, now she gets to come get with the alt-right so she can say, you know what, I've been sitting on this for all of these years trying to get my money straight. Now that the money is right, I'm gonna let you know exactly what I think of you. And not surprisingly, she didn't just go to something that was just a little questionable. She went full-blown alt-right. She went full-blown Richard Spencer. She didn't just start doing that a couple of days ago. She been like that. Toxic masculinity shows a white woman's face on the thumbnail, toxic masculinity, but when you click on it, it's black men. Who are the clowns and idiots who didn't recognize this years ago?
Damn, did you see that thumbnail of that lady looking like she was about to get hit by a man? And then when you clicked on it, it was nothing but black men on the panel. Oh my goodness.
Oh, when they saw it, well, apparently right here. Apparently right there. Now, I've been having folks tell me for years that wasn't what it was. They were claiming up and down for years that wasn't what it was. It wasn't really like that. Oh, Jason's just hating. Yeah, because I want to be on Pearly Things. Yeah, because Jason's just hating. Yeah, because you got some super secret understanding of reality that Jason doesn't have, right? Allegedly. Some super secret, super duper understanding of reality that he just doesn't have. Some of y'all need to recognize here when you see this kind of stuff, there's a whole bunch of folks out here who are just desperate to get on and desperate to be on.
No, not me. No, I'm not.
That they don't care if they're sitting next to full-blown white supremacists, can they get an extra 30 views?
No.
Now, if I knew that this was Pearly Things Get Down 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, then please tell me what in the hell is your damn excuse here. No, there you are. Hey, mediocre tutorials. How you doing there, dude? You got some explaining to do, don't you think? Hey, DJ Chub Rock.
Oh my God.
Whoever you are. This face looks familiar. Kinda. Sorta. Maybe. I don't know. Folks got some splaining to do around these parts, don't they?
Okay, let me skip ahead a little bit.
Over 20 times.
Okay, wait. So
the Pearly Thing sunshades on these all certainly do now.
So
is
there was
over 20.
All right.
They got some explain.
So in this clip, and I think I skipped it, but she talks about how slavery wasn't that bad. That was the other thing I wanted y'all to see, but we don't need to beat this dead horse. We know what it is. It is what it is. Y'all not gonna catch me fucking with this bitch on no panel nowhere. And that's just, it is what it is. Like, I can be mature but I need to draw a line, so I'm gonna continue to just, mess with the people that I like, work with the people that I like to work with. I do like working with Ali and Fatty. I like how they structure their shows by, sending us the questions so that we can be thoughtful with our answers and not ramble on. That is super helpful. And they've always made me feel super comfortable and have been very hospitable towards me. So I'm not going to not watch them anymore, but I just like the way that I've been moving, I'm going to continue to move. This week has been very stressful because, on Friday night, it was Angry Man coming at them, talking crazy at us in the chat. I don't know what it is about Angry Man and, him saying weird things to me in the chat, but my talking points are the same talking points that I have on Cart Before the Horse, where me and Angry Man have been on Cart Before the Horse together with Fat Man Scoop. May he rest in peace. And he's been in the chat a few times as I've been on the show for a year. So my talking points on with Fatty and Ali and them are no different, but it's like he's a different person talking to me when I'm on that show. It's like the gloves are off for some reason, and it's like, Angry Man, I'm the woman. like I'm the woman. Like, I'm not gonna, like, me and you don't compete the same kinds of ways. So it's like, why are you trying to like dismiss everything that I'm saying when I'm not saying anything different than what you've heard me say on Cart Before the Horse. So it's like, that's girly. That's shit we used to do in the sandbox. Somebody brought a new Barbie car, and all of a sudden my Barbie car, is not good anymore. So you go back and play with her Barbie car, and so the wheels fall off, and then you're back over playing with, like, that's silly stuff that girls do with each other. Angry Man. What you did on Friday night, and then Pearl turned around and did the same thing to them on Sunday night. And y'all have way bigger pages. Why y'all punch down? It's not cool. I don't get why you're cool either, Angry Man. I have a hard time understanding why people think you guys are cool, because I was actually cool in high school, in middle school. I'm popular in real life. In real life. in my real fucking life, okay? I'm not just somebody on YouTube. Like in real life, people fuck with me. So yeah. Yeah. That's my show for the night. Weirdos and white supremacists are on YouTube. We let them in our spaces. They're disrespectful, and I just don't really feel like we should be giving them any attention, especially in the month full of gratitude and thanks and you know, giving thanks and being around family and friends. Like, we're supposed to be worrying about the things that are most important, not people that come to disrupt and destruct and destroy. Okay? So F Pearly Things, and if Angry Man keeps his panties in a bunch, F him too. Like, I get it, you know, that shit on Friday had nothing to do with me, but it kind of is, because anytime I say something, he's like tyranny on my ass in the comments, and that gets on my nerves. Because like I said, Angry Man, my talking points on Fatty and Ali's show is no different than the talking points that I've always had on SBC or Cart Before the Horse, and you've never came at me on that channel or on those channels. So I don't get what the little, you know, snarky little comments that you have towards me are all about. I don't get that. I've sent Beano Nation plenty of super chats, plenty of cash apps, plenty, bruh, plenty. So, and I'm not a little girl either. So, you know, whatever you think, you're mistaken. Okay, so let's move on to our funny. Our funny really isn't like a funny. It's just like it happened recently on Club Shay Shay, and I feel like it just goes with the discussion that we've had tonight, but it's a little bit lighthearted, although it's very serious. It's a little bit lighthearted, and it's funny. You'll see why I say it's a funny. Let me share this. All right. Wait. Hold on. All right, let's see. Okay, I found it. Here, let me pause it. It's like, I don't want y'all to see all this stuff that I looked at all day. It's like, girl, you watched all them videos today? For the most part, I was listening to them as I was working. But okay, let me share the screen and then we'll get out of here, y'all. I know I've had y'all for a long time. I appreciate all y'all rocking with me though. So this is a short, and you know, I've covered a bunch of Roy Wood Jr.'s prank calls with y'all, and I was gonna do one, but when I went and looked him up to, you know, pull a funny prank call for us to listen to, I saw this and I was like, wow, this is, you know, so on point with what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm going to let this play. Here we go.
You know what's wild? I did Finding Your Roots, and they found the white family that purchased the first black wood of my bloodline off the slave ships in Charleston.
Yep, that's what we came off of.
If I wanted to today, I could find the white wood descendants in southern Georgia and pull up on a fucking house. One day I will.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money though. I Zillowed they crib. They broke. Like, yeah. That's the thing we'll talk about with slavery, man, is that there's a lot of white people fumbled. Like, y'all.
They fumbled the bag.
Yeah, you had working for you, you still couldn't come up. How you broke and you had slaves?
Yeah, that was valuable. That was gold.
They fumbled, bro.
Okay, so that was it, y'all. That was my spiel for tonight. That was my funny. Ugh. It's just been a lot. Okay. Like, as soon as I start to venture out, that's when all of these like weird things start happening to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay in my little cocoon in SBC, you know, over with Thai Pro, over with G Honda and the Stillmatic Network, over with CDT Beats, over with Aaron Laura or Chelsea Lynn or my girl Go Cree Cree. You know, maybe I'll just stay insulated and stay having fun like that. You know, I don't know. But I didn't like the way she talked to any of those guys. I didn't like the way she talked to any of the ladies on the panel. I thought she was trying to come and just sun everybody. And I just truly think that, you know, they're doing such a good job that now they're becoming like a target. And it's just like, don't let somebody like Pearl put a target on your back. Stay the fuck away from her. Like, you guys are giving her validity. And we don't need to do that. Like, let her crash and burn. But that's my spiel for tonight. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. It's 12:04. I went over. I knew that I would, but I tried not to, right? It's all about effort. I would like to thank everybody that donated tonight. The Stillmatic Network with G Honda, thank you so much. Blue Exodus, Mr. Walker, Divine Photos, Squeegee Kid. I hope I wasn't smacking too much on the microphone. I've been trying to do better about that. Squeegee Kid. I see your comments. Can I get some podcasts? Thank you so much for coming by. I think that was my first super chat from you. I appreciate you. And Rakai Media, Project Leroy, Triple X, Lee Turner, Stephen James, Frederick Howard, Your Average Local Thinker, Divine Photos, Erica's Corner, and Renee Pennington and Tony Golden. Thank all of you all so much for supporting me tonight. I'm very thankful for all of you, and I will see you all Wednesday night, right? Wednesday night at 9. We're not going to be talking about no damn Pearl, okay? We're not going to be talking about Pearl. We're going to have fun on Wednesday. I promise, okay? But that's it for me, y'all. All right. Y'all have a good night tonight. I don't know why I'm playing this. This is not what I wanted to play. I don't know why I'm playing this. I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. But I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be sweet to each other until we meet again. See y'all on Wednesday. Be sweet. And yeah. Okay. Good night. I'm going to go take a shower, wrap my hair, and go to bed. All right. Y'all do the same. Love y'all. Good night.